APR for 60 months on the Hyundai Tucson and Tucson Hybrid. See your SoCal Hyundai dealer. Offers end September 30th. Call 714-568-7676 for details.
Just like in sports, you can never predict an accident. It will come when you least expect it. Travis Rodgers here with DeMarco Farr to tell you about our friend, Joseph S. Normand.
If you're in any accident, call Joseph at 213-747-2000. The team at Normand Legal is ready to help you and achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
Call Joseph at 213-747-2000 or visit normandlegal.com. You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. The law office of Joseph S. Normand.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Let's go. It's time for Sedano and Cap.
A little sabor, and we're going to just nosh.
It is George Sedano. It is Scott Kaplan. Sedano and Cap is on.
I'm going to have to say respectfully, I'm going to disagree.
Okay, why is that?
I don't know.
The LA Afternoon Drive takeover.
He likes to lay the wood.
Yeah. You say Kikuchi.
Wacky forced radio stunt of the year.
Christopher can go to hell.
Oh, nothing worse than the horse.
Nah, man, black don't crack.
Benjamin Pratt is like, how do you say his name? Asminger?
Asminger. Hey, these Hard Knocks guys are all over me right now. It's like I'm in back of Dayton. You are a bit killer.
Because you got to talk about sperm.
Here we go.
You don't know. You don't know. And you know why you don't know? Because you're gutless, Andy. You're gutless.
Sedano and Cap.
God, I'm going to melt you. Yeah. Yeah. Come on, Fergie, come on. Yeah, take it. Let me hear it.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
take it away, Cappy.
Well, my boy Sedano is in North Carolina, where he is calling the University of North Carolina versus James Madison. And the James Madison football team demands that they get proper production meetings with the ESPN talent because they probably don't play on ESPN all that often. They want their coaches to have that experience. They want their players to have that experience. And their flight was late. And so Sedano is working the room right now. And whether or not he makes it to the airwaves today, that is to be determined, which means Gregory Arthur Bergman.
That's right.
Bergmania is running wild.
Come to
and
Bergmania. Come to Bergmania.
Filling in right now for Sedano. How's it going today, buddy?
What's going on, buddy? I'm really doing very well, thank you. I love this so much. It's great. And by the way, Cappy, I don't know if you can see on the YouTube.
Of course I can see.
I am sitting in the A chair. I'm doing it on purpose, and it's mostly because that microphone in the B chair when John Ireland's in it is so gross from all the spit. I just can't do it.
Well, that and when you plug your headphones in,
I won't do it.
Yeah, when you plug your headphones into where John Ireland had his headphones, be ready to have your brains like just completely flying out of your ears because it's so damn loud.
It's so loud every single time. It just you have to go, oh my god, and move your headphones.
You got to remember
it's
that.
Bad. I do.
See, that's why I use a windscreen when I go in and I take on the microphone after John Ireland. I could do what Michael Thompson does. I could completely change mics, But instead, I just put the windscreen over it so I don't have to smell John's breath, which, by the way, might be lovely.
Well, so
Michael changes mics? Oh,
Yeah.
like he moves over. I thought you meant he unscrews it.
No. He unscrews it, has his own mic that says Michael's mic on it.
He would.
He places that one in. But the one that's in the seat that Michael usually sits in is the old one that John used. So it's yellow and caked. And this one is starting to get that way.
I have a question. Why is
I love you, buddy.
Why is it yellow? Like, where's the yellow come from?
Years and years.
I know, but what is making it yellow?
Probably
these are questions that I don't know the answer to that are going to get me in trouble.
Well, I would just venture a guess that it's probably simple chronic halitosis would be my guess.
Chronic halitosis. That's exactly what it is.
I mean, that's just a guess, but I'm no doctor. Don't ask me.
I once had a science teacher that had the worst breath ever, and it was like bad breath, metally smelling, like metallic smelling. And that's what it smells like. Just when you walk by that microphone, I can smell it.
You know who's got breath like that? I hate to air him out on the air like this right now. You know who's got the worst breath ever? But I would stand there and take it and not make facial gestures to let him know that he was just gassing me down.
Can we guess? Do they work here?
They do not work here.
Oh, Billy Ray?
No. This is an NFL owner.
Oh, an NFL owner.
So I would stand there on the field before the game. I would talk to him.
Well, it's got to be the Chargers owner, right?
No, not him.
He's done a lot of sideline.
Stan Kroenke?
Jerry Jones.
No. Yes, Jerry Jones.
Oh.
Jerry Jones has got
he
breath.
Looks like he would have bad breath.
Yeah, Jerry, and I love Jerry. But I will be honest. Like I used to go every year for Thanksgiving, and every year I'd walk up to Jerry, and he's one of these guys that will give you the time. Hey, nice to see you. Happy Thanksgiving. He would always have a photographer following him around and a security person. They'd snap a whole bunch of pictures. That's kind of why I went over to talk to him. Then I would get in, and he and I would have a conversation about something that was happening in the NFL, and I would stand there, and I would just take this wave of breath hitting me right in the face. And I would not make any facial gestures to let him know that he's gassing me down. But I'll tell you right now, man, my nose was getting hate mail. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. And so what's worse? Do you prefer the person that has the bad breath when you're talking to them, or the person that is a close talker that stands right next to your face and you have to step back and they keep following you back? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I'll take the bad breath guy over the close talker guy.
The close talker is the worst.
What if they're both?
Oh, no, that's
bad combo.
Double bad. You can't have that combo.
Bad combination. So Bergie's in the house today for Sedano. We got DeAndre, who's flying this operation today. Lindsay Baseball is in the house. Lindsay, I don't know if you know this or not, but Ohtani has now hit 51 home runs. I don't know if you know that.
I know. I just got an alert from Southwest. There's a $51 sale.
A $51 flight? That's crazy.
Yeah, yesterday when he hit 49, my computer started to have $49 Southwest flights going on.
I heard that. And Lindsay, I just can't believe you threw Graham under the bus like that.
Graham agreed that he said, I understand. If it was misleading to you, I get it.
Well, what's he going to do?
That's the type of guy that Graham is.
Right.
He's going to be like, oh, no, that's on me. I'm so sorry. But
He doesn't say that's on me. He just says, if that's how you interpreted it, I understand. And I said, okay. That was that.
Right. He's not taking it. He's just being like,
under the bus, man. The whole squad, man.
Yeah. No. I liked that tweet, too. It was very well done.
I thought
50 check, 50 soon. I loved it.
I know. But when you have your Twitter on night mode, forget about it. But Bergie, I got to tell you something. I've had 24 hours now, not even 24 hours. I've had about 22 hours to really digest what happened yesterday. And I'm glad you're here because I know you're a crazed Dodger fan.
I am.
And for me, I'm not a crazed Dodger fan.
Are you a crazed Padre fan?
I would say that I have become very fond of the Padres this year, whereas last year I told everybody I hated the team, I hated the management, I hated the lack of chemistry, I wanted to see them lose, I loved watching them crash and burn. This year, I have a whole different attitude because I love great camaraderie. I like to see teams come together. I like to see guys step up in leadership roles. I like to see young guys give you performances that you didn't expect. So I don't know that I'm like a crazed fan, but I am much more of a fan of this team this year than I was last year.
It is a really good team, by the way.
Yeah, they're good.
They're very good.
And I'm not a hater of the Dodgers because, as you know, I'm a Dave Roberts supporter.
Yep.
And later this hour, Adrian Gonzalez will come by and he'll talk to us about what Ohtani did yesterday. But I am a lover of great performances.
So I have a question, Cap.
Yeah.
Really quick. Need to interject. I saw that Rachel had posted a picture with her two sons on
Right.
Instagram. like, oh, lovely day, lovely outing at the Padres with my favorite boys.
Right.
Were you in that picture and then she cut you out? Or were you were you not there?
No, I was not there.
Okay.
I was in the ESPN LA studios,
Okay.
and this was Wednesday, and I think it was a 3:40 game.
I was curious because I thought that that's something that you might be like, oh, I don't want to get a bunch of hate for being at the Chargers game in the the Padres game in the Padres jersey. So
Not
I
at
was
all.
just curious about that.
Not one bit. I'm actually going to a Padres game tonight. They're playing the Chicago White Sox, which could be historically one of the worst teams that baseball has ever seen. But no, I would never have her cut me out of a
Are
picture.
you going to wear the Padres shirt like at the game? Or are you
I don't really have any of that kind of stuff.
You used to though, didn't you have the big chain?
I had the chain T-shirt, but that's not licensed. That's bootlegged. You see what I'm saying? So there's a difference.
Okay, so you
see
only
that?
wear bootleg material.
Well, I like bootleg because my man Fat Tony makes all the bootleg materials, and I like to support Fat Tony.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so performances. You love big performances.
I love amazing performances. And what we saw Ohtani do yesterday, I don't care if you're like a scorned Angels fan who's pissed off that Ohtani never brought you to the postseason, that he's played in nearly 700 games or whatever the number is, and that Ohtani is now going to the postseason. You could be a scorned Angels fan and say, I don't want to support that guy. You could be a Padres fan and go, I don't support anything that is Dodger related. You could be somebody that's still hanging on to what happened earlier this year with him and the interpreter and the gambling scandal and everything else. But for me, to go out in a game where you hit 3 home runs, steal 2 bases, go 6 for 6, have 10 RBIs, and get to 50-50, and now 51-51, and put up what many people who are much more historically inclined than I am to put up what is being considered to be one of the, if not the greatest individual offensive performance in the history of baseball. If you don't love that, man, I just don't get it.
You are just a hater if you do not love that, because you're right. It has to be the greatest statistical singular performance in Major League history. There's nothing that he did yesterday that anybody else has even gotten close to. I got some stats for you that I saw last night, and I talked about it on the Blue Review from 8:30 to 8:55 on the ESPN LA YouTube channel. Ding.
Nice
Thank
promo.
You like that? All right. So since RBI became official in 1920, only one Major League player has had, over the course of his entire career, a game with 10-plus RBIs, a game with 6-plus hits, a game with 5-plus extra base hits, a game with 3-plus home runs, a game with 2-plus stolen bases. No one has ever put 2 of those together. Shohei did all of them. All 5 of them. Not only that, he got thrown out at third base going for a triple that was just by inches, and if he got that, there would have been a cycle that was attached to all this, and he created a brand new spectrum of 51 and 51 and made it to the postseason for the first time in his history in the MLB. That's kind of amazing.
To me, I'm making my call right now, and I don't care what Andrew Friedman tells me. I don't care if Dave Roberts is just sort of hinting at it. I don't care if Ohtani says we'll meet about it when we get back to L.A. I am telling you right now, given the problems in the Dodgers pitching staff, I'm telling you this guy's going to come back and pitch this year, this season. And by the way, wait a second. I'll go out on another limb for you.
Oh, no.
He might throw a no-hitter.
Oh, come on. No, he's not throwing a no-hitter.
What do you mean no? You would doubt Shohei Ohtani?
No, I don't doubt him, but he has not even thrown to hitters yet. He's just thrown bullpens. So
in fact, you know what? They shouldn't even let him throw to hitters. The first time he goes out to throw to hitters, he'll throw a no-hitter.
Just throw a no-hitter. Just be making the game one star of the World Series and have him throw a no-hitter. That's what you're calling for.
I'm telling you
he
right
could
now,
do it, though.
It's the most amazing thing, because for years when he was in Anaheim, and people were like, okay, yeah, he's great. Yeah, look at him pitch and strike guys out. And, oh, wow, look at him hit for power. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. And now he goes to the Dodgers, and he's on the biggest of the biggest stages, and he's performing at the highest of highest levels, and he's leading his team to the postseason, and he's doing things that we've never seen in our lifetimes because it's never been done.
Right, and what he does it on the big stages, too. So when he got 40-40, he had a walk-off grand slam to get the 40-40. And now he's at 50-50. He hits a massive home run that has the greatest statistical performance in MLB history. Everything he does comes in big, big moments, and he just keeps rising to that occasion. It's so incredible to watch, and I'm so happy that I just get to, and you, too, just get to sit here and watch greatness in front of us. It doesn't happen very often.
I really wondered, though, yesterday, because we were on the air while all this was going down, and I really wondered how many people are watching this. Because you got to remember, this is 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, 5 o'clock. People are at work. People are in their cars. People are stuck in traffic. The other part of it is it's against the Miami Marlins, a team that doesn't really provide any threat of any kind. They're not in any sort of a race. So the only people that were at the game yesterday in person were the people that were there to see Ohtani potentially set a record. And I really wondered how many people were actually seeing what we were seeing while it was happening in real time. We'll come back to Ohtani because Adrian Gonzalez is going to join us later this hour. And by the way, is it the greatest season we've ever seen? I want you to think about that for a second because not everybody thinks it is. We'll get back to that. Adrian Gonzalez on the way. Bergie's in for Sedano. This is Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter. Commerce Casino.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and I want to talk about my friend Avner Gatt, a public adjuster. Now, many of you guys have asked me, why Avner Gatt? What makes his team so unique at handling insurance claims? So let me tell you something. I've been working with Avner and his team for a while. I can tell you this. Avner Gatt has a dynamic team that's highly effective and successful because these folks come from a very diverse background in the insurance industry. For example, some of them used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team. Yes, they actually chose to switch sides when they realized the effectiveness of Avner's team's work. Some of them used to be in the restoration business, rebuilding homes after disasters. Some of them used to be in the contents handling business, moving homeowners' belongings to a safe place for restoration and storage. Some of them were experts in hazardous materials handling, like asbestos and lead testing. That was their daily work. And some of them were members of law firms handling bad faith claims and general business disputes. You see, diversification is the name of the game. When you are represented by Avner Gatt's team, you have the entire team's experience and know-how by your side. No one, and I mean no one, messes with Avner Gatt and his team. So call Avner Gatt right now, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256. That's AvnerGatt.com, AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. When you call him directly, Avner Gatt and his family, they take the calls themselves. Avner Gatt says, hello.
Park, party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. LA's premier card room now open 24/7. Tune in all this week to Travis and DeMarco to win the ultimate game day prize pack from Hollywood Park Casino. That includes this Sunday's tailgate party passes to HPC and game day tickets at SoFi. Listen for your cue to call 877-710-ESPN and don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day prize pack. Tailgate passes to HPC and game tickets to SoFi, Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play. Must be 21 and older to enter.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
We're getting crushed out here. What's going on with you, Nick? You used to be the unstoppable king of flag football.
I'm feeling my age. At 40, I feel like I can't keep up anymore.
Is it lower testosterone?
Lower T?
Yeah. When you turn 40, you have less testosterone. It's harder to stay lean and get the same results you used to get. That's why I take Nugenics Total T.
I know Nugenics. It really gives you an edge.
No question. At work, the gym, the bedroom, Nugenics turn back the clocks. Now I've got the same energy that I did in my 20s.
I want to try Nugenics.
All right, time out. Guys, go text Nugenics and get yourselves a complimentary bottle to try.
Text AREA to 14
42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. It's the #1 selling testosterone-boosting brand at GNC and Walmart. Do it now, and they'll also send you a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, their newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
You got what I need.
But you say he's just a friend.
And
you say he's just a friend. Oh, baby, you got what I need.
There you go.
You say he's just a friend. Oh, I love this song. So good.
Lindsay Baseball, give me a little of the history of this song, why we're playing it right now.
You say he's
Stand by.
just a friend.
Okay.
Standing by.
All right, so we're playing this song today because this was the #1 hit in
Biz Markie, baby.
1989. Oh, no, he released it as a single, 1989. Biz Markie released Just a Friend as a single.
He just passed away, didn't he?
Like 5 years ago.
About 5 years. It's still just. It was close.
R.I.P.
Do you not know Biz Markie?
You talking to DeAndre?
No, I'm talking to you.
DeAndre don't know nothing about no Biz Markie.
I don't know about no Biz Markie.
You don't?
I do.
No, yeah, of course you do. But no, I'm asking you, Cappy.
I mean, I know this song.
But you don't know Biz Markie. He also is a... What is it? He uses his mouth a lot. It's
he does a lot of
beatboxing. Yeah, beatboxing.
He beatboxes?
Like a major beatboxer. He was
Yeah,
incredible.
can you beatbox?
I cannot. I can go...
Can you?
Well, I can beatbox because you got to understand there was a song by Run DMC, and it was if you sang the lyrics, then you would do the beatbox.
What's the song?
What is it?
We can play it.
I got to think of the
Just
name
for
of the
you.
song. Anybody know the name of the song, Run DMC?
Funchy, do you know it?
Come on, Funchy Lover.
This is right in your
I don't
wheelhouse.
know. I don't know.
Come on.
All I can think of is Dougie Fresh. He's like the human beatbox.
He was.
Ooh.
What about like the Fat Boys? Didn't they beatbox?
Oh, yeah, beatbox. Yeah.
Man, you ain't know nothing about no Fat Boys,
about the Fat
DeAndre.
Boys.
For real. Yeah, there's a Run DMC song. I got to think of the name of the song.
You sound like you're Ella Fitzgerald and you're scatting.
Well, that's because if I could think of the name of the song, I would then have the lyrics, and if I had the lyrics, then I would go right into the beatbox.
Type in Run DMC beatbox.
Yes,
and see if we can
type
find
in.
something like that.
It kind of sounded like
Going nowhere with
the
that.
Tim Allen
search.
grunt from Home Improvement. That's kind of what you sounded like.
I mean, I sort of jazzed it up a little bit, but I'm telling you, there's a song. Okay, somebody in the circle of trust
I'm
hit
sure
me.
someo's got it. They're gonna be
Somebody
saying,
in the
like,
circle hit
"Come
me up
on,
and let me know.
Cappy." That's what they're
Somebody
gonna say.
know. Somebody knows. Somebody will know. I'm telling you that right now. All right, let me go back to Ohtani here for a second. So what we saw yesterday, and again, I said at the beginning of today's broadcast, I'm like 22 hours removed from seeing what we saw. You know, the first home run gets to 49. Second home run gets to 50. Third home run, we're like, are they still really pitching to him? And I love the manager of the Florida Marlins last night in his post-game press conference going, hey, look, I got too much respect for the game. I got too much respect for the player to not go after the guy. I'm not just going to walk him.
You want to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's Skip Schumacher, and we do have it.
Go ahead.
I think that's a bad move, baseball-wise, karma-wise, baseball god-wise. You go after him and see if you can get him out. And I think out of respect for the game, we're going to go after him. He hit the home run. I mean, that's just part of the deal. He's hit 50 of them. He's the most talented player I've ever seen. He is doing things that I've never seen done before in the game. And if he has a couple more of these peak years, he might be the best ever to play the game. So I just, as a fan, I wish I was in the stands, not in the dugout, seeing it. But it's I'm proud of like the guys that were attacking him and not scared of him. And that's how you should go after it. And then he hit the home run. I mean, I know Baumann didn't want the home run to be hit, but he hit it. And so it was a good day for baseball. Bad day for the Marlins, but a good day for the game of baseball.
See, I love that, Cappy.
So did I. So did I.
I love it so much because he was a former Dodger too, Skip Schumacher, and he went away with it. And if you watched him during the game, you were watching it on SportsCenter, right? He was in the dugout while it was happening, and he was like, "Oh, just blanket while it's going."
Bleep that.
Yeah, he said, "Bleep that."
Right.
And he didn't want to put him on. There was runners on second and third. You had first base open. They could have walked him. He said, "Bleep that," and they let him hit it. It was just great. I love what Skip Schumacher did there.
All right, just getting from some people in the Circle of Trust. The song is called "Hit It Run." That's the song from Run DMC. Hit it, run, and that's when the beatbox happens. So I can't really beatbox, but you see, when I would sing that song, I would be singing the lyrics, and then the beatbox would happen, and then I would do it. And as a matter of fact, Bergie, I'll have you know that my senior year of high school, you know how they have at Disneyland a senior night where all the park is, all the kids? That was the same thing for me. We went to senior night at Disney World, and Run DMC was there, and I'm singing every word, and then all of a sudden the beatbox thing comes up, and like an idiot, 18-year-old moron, I'm standing there with my hand over my mouth. Right. Yes, this is the song right here.
Knock it out. Knock it out of the park, Cappy. You got
All right, let's hear it. Let me hear it. Hold on. Let me see if I can get into it. Hold on. All right, hold on. Here it comes. Turn it up.
This is the spot. 3, 2.
My name is Young, but you can call me D. Hit it, run. A Byford brother of Al. Bama's my mama and runs my pal. It's McDowell's, not McDonald's. My rhymes are Daryl, but the burgers are Ronald's. Yeah!
Oh, can you just imagine an 18-year-old Cappy with the long hair flowing and just up there beatboxing this?
Sounds like John Ireland spitting on that yellow mic.
Dude, let me tell you something right now. My lips are vibrating.
Fantastic. That was fantastic.
My lips are vibrating right now.
Well done.
Just so you know, my lips are vibrating. So, did you happen to see when Ohtani hits 50, the people that were chasing after the ball? Did you catch that?
Yeah, there was a guy in an aqua shirt or something like that was so close. Should have had it.
Right, he had his hand out.
Right.
And he couldn't grab it. He couldn't get that ball. He just couldn't hang on to it. Now, the guy who caught 50, who actually has control of 50.
Yep.
Left the ballpark with the ball.
Smart.
See, my first inclination is to think, hey, this is a piece of history. Ohtani should have this ball.
Oh, bleep history.
Well, hold on a second. I'm not done. My first inclination, let's just keep that part of this in mind. Give him the ball, go meet him, take a picture, get a bat, maybe a jersey, be a good guy, give him his piece of history. And then I saw what these baseballs actually are valued at. Because there's a guy that Lindsay sent us a tweet. You see all these baseballs. Mark McGwire's baseball, whatever home run it was, $700,000.
Wait, but really quick, the story on that one, all he wanted, they offered him an autographed bat and a ball and, a couple other things. The guy said, no, I just want to meet Mark McGwire. And Mark McGwire told him no.
Yeah.
He turned him down.
Well, then that's on
And
McGwire.
then the guy turned around and sold the ball for $700 at an auction.
$700,000.
Sorry. Go ahead,
Yeah.
Cappy.
So McGuire's ball, $700,000+. Hank Aaron's $755,000. I don't remember. Also upwards of close to $1 million.
You sell that now. It's a lot.
Oh yeah. I mean Barry Bonds, whatever home run ball it was, 61, 62, whatever the number.
73.
Great, thank you. How much did that one sell for?
How much did it sell for?
Oh, hold on.
$700 and something thousand. My first instinct is to give the man back his piece of history, but my second instinct is, wait a second, $750,000 for this baseball? I'm leaving with this baseball.
Yeah, $752K for Bonds.
Yeah, it's life-changing money. That's why I said good for him. That's what you should do. If you catch that ball, get out of there as fast as possible. Don't even let the Marlins come up to you and be like, hey, we should give the ball back. Move immediately and sell that and have generational money for you and your family.
My favorite,
absolutely go do that.
My favorite of all of these historic home run balls was Hank Aaron's 755th home run ball. Okay, so this is what happened. The Brewers groundskeeper, his name was Richard Arndt, caught the ball. When he tried to return it, he was told that Hank Aaron was not available. So he was like, hey, I want to give him the ball back. And no, he hasn't got time for you. Sorry, he's not available. And then the Brewers fired the guy for, quote, stealing team property. So he tried to give it back. They said
up.
no. Well, 20 years later, he got his revenge because he sold the ball for $650,000. So there you go.
Yeah,
Good for him.
He's living large. That's all that matters for him.
Good for him. All right, listen. How incredible was Ohtani's performance? We all saw it. We all understand the numbers. But what do you think about that kind of performance when you yourself were a great player, a great home run hitter? Adrian Gonzalez, the Dodger legendary first baseman and now analyst on Spectrum. Adrian Gonzalez is up next. This is Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
Shohei makes history.
On a 1-2, Ohtani sends one in the air.
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter. Monday night during football season. Sedano and Cap broadcast live each week from 3 to 6, followed by games, prizes, and giveaways. The first 100 guests receive a chance to win a jersey from the teams playing weekly. The first 50 guests in attendance will receive an exclusive Monday Night Football ESPN LA Commerce shirt, and you'll have a chance to win tickets to our event. Special rate at the hotel valid every Sunday through Tuesday during football season. That's $129.99 per night or $119.99 per night when you also sign up for a player's card. They'll have amazing discounts on food and drinks all season long, happy hour specials. Please visit commercecasino.com or visit their guest services desk for more details. And as always, the Commerce has you covered with all the card games you love to play, minutes from the heart of LA. Must be 21 and up to play. Play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.problemgambling.ca.gov.
Just as every point matters, every detail counts in our meticulously crafted vehicles. Experience luxury at the top of its game. Welcome to Cadillac of Beverly Hills, the #1 Cadillac dealer in the Western region for the 3rd year in a row. Come and check out the incredible selection of new and pre-owned vehicles today at our showroom, 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills, and at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
Hey guys, it's Cappy, and if you want to sell your home, call Seller's Advantage. Let me say it again, it's real simple. If you're ready to sell, call Seller's Advantage. Everybody has different reasons for selling. Some people want to downsize and they're ready to move. Some have inherited property, and you know what? They don't want to have that property. They want to get rid of it. Or maybe you're just ready for a change in your life. Whatever your reason is for selling, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution for your needs. They'll make you a competitive cash offer with no repairs needed, and they can close in days. Seller's Advantage is the fastest and the most stress-free way to sell your home. No complicated closing process or contracts falling through. Seller's Advantage has been making sellers happy for decades, and they've got all the reviews to prove it. So call them today and get a no-obligation offer at 888-390-AS-IS. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747, or sellersadvantage.com.
Don't worry, sell happy with Seller's Advantage.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up this fall because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. This can be a mentor, a teacher, a coach, a good Samaritan, a youngster who brightens your day. Tell us who's smiling and you could win some awesome prizes like sweet tickets from ESPN LA, Sonic Care electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, and a grand prize of Invisalign from Beverly Hills Ortho. Enter now at ESPNLA.com and remember you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics.
With NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV, you can watch every game, every Sunday, all in one place. Which means you can watch the Dolphins, and the Broncos, and the Lions, and the Cowboys, and the Jets. Or whoever you're rooting for, all in your living room. But not literally, of course. That would be dangerous. Watch every game, every Sunday with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. Sign up at youtube.com/NFLST. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Come and give me some of that yum yum chocolate chip honey dip.
You guys got Sedano and Cap.
Baby, take a ride in my coupe.
Yep, we got a lot going on today, but I want to jump right into Adrian Gonzalez at Sedano and Cap. Bergie is in for Sedano, and we're still talking about what happened 24 hours ago with Ohtani. The 3 home runs, the 2 stolen bases, 6 for 6, 10 RBIs in one of the most spectacular offensive individual performances that maybe has ever happened in the history of Major League Baseball. Former Dodger great first baseman and now Spectrum Sportsnet analyst Adrian Gonzalez joining on Sedano and Cap. Hey, Adrian, how are you today, man?
Hey, Cap, all good here, doing well. And, yeah, I mean, so first of all, Greg, how you doing?
What's going on, Adrian? How are you?
Yeah, I mean, all good. But still, just, after yesterday's performance, I mean, that's all we can talk about right now, right? I mean, that performance was absolutely incredible. Sean Green had a 6-for-6 game with 4 home runs. That is the only other game I can think of that could compare to this game. But he had 2 stolen bases. He had 10 RBIs. I mean, just the game he had was just absolutely insane, historic, crazy.
Yeah, and I think to myself, Adrian, I'm sitting here watching it, but I wasn't a Major League Baseball player. You're sitting there watching it. You not only were an MLB player, but you were a great player. You were a guy who hit over 300 home runs in your career. I was thinking to myself, what must you be thinking watching this kind of performance?
Yeah, one of the things is that going into the game, we were thinking there's no way he gets to 50-50 today because he needs stolen bases plus home runs. So if you hit home runs, you typically don't get to be on the bases to be able to steal a base. And he needed 2 home runs. So we were thinking there's no chance he's going to accomplish the feat today. We knew he was going to accomplish it eventually, but not all those accomplishments on the same day in a historic game. On top of that, it's the day he clinches as a team, obviously, but he clinches the opportunity to have a postseason berth. So you put it all together. I don't know if there's been a single day that accomplishes so much all at the same time.
So we've been talking about it with me and Cappy. Have been talking about how he's gone through so much. What happened earlier on in the before the season started, but it seems like to me that all year long he seems free and happy and just really being a part of it. What's his demeanor like been all year with this team?
I mean, he's a guy that's been incredibly humble. He always thinks about his teammates and his team first. But at the same time, baseball is the unique sport where it's in a way, it's an individual sport that's played as a team because when you go up to the plate, you're individual. You're going up against the pitcher. And so there is a part where you have to take away, the fact that it's a one-on-one match, you against the pitcher. And he has been incredible at excelling at that. Obviously, his focus has been all about hitting. He's just been able to just focus on hitting without being on the mound and really taken into the Dodger mentality of stealing bases and learning how to steal bases, and it's only gotten better and better as the season's gone on, and is really, taking a liking to a point where it almost feels like he gets on base, he's going now. He trusts himself so much to get a good jump and do all the little things that the Dodgers do really well as a team, and just really excelled in the role and the leadership role that he's taken on. It's been a pleasure to watch, and I think everybody in the clubhouse is super excited about everything that he's accomplishing.
Adrian, you're saying all of this, former player and now, analyst on TV. But before you got into TV, you did work with Andrew Friedman in the front office as a special assistant. Friedman has said that he will not pitch Ohtani this year, even if he's right. I'm not buying it. I'm thinking Ohtani's still going to come back and pitch. And I told Bergman earlier, I think he's going to wind up coming back and pitching a no-hitter.
No-hitter.
Do
Get
you
outta here.
think, Adrian, do you think there's any chance that Ohtani can and or will pitch before this season is over?
That is a very, very, interesting question because one, yes, I do think there will be an opportunity or a time in the postseason when they're like, hey, listen, this guy's been throwing bullpens, he's been doing all the work. We need a pitcher. We need somebody to come in and shut it down. I do see him coming in at some point for one inning or that one moment in the game where it's like, hey, this is our season, and we don't want to go to a reliever that hasn't had a great series so far, or somebody that we don't trust as much right now. Having said that, that does put a ton of pressure on him because he hasn't pitched all year. He hasn't gone through the flow, and the only reason I think that he will come in at some point when the team needs a pitcher like Ohtani to come in is because he's throwing full on bullpens. I just don't see why he would be doing a full pitching routine when he has the whole offseason. He could have been still doing the rehab so he doesn't work his arm way too much and he doesn't do too much to put too much stress on his arm coming off of Tommy John surgery. So why would you put a pitcher through all that when he can just rest and do the things that he needs to do to be ready for next year? And the fact that he's out there throwing bullpens, he's out there, every fifth day he's throwing a bullpen. He's building himself up a little bit and throwing 30 pitches for possibly a 1 or 2 inning, situation or scenario. So with those things that I've seen, I do think he might come in if the situation calls for it. It's not something that they're going to go into saying, you're going to be a reliever, you're going to be a closer, you're going to be this or you're going to be that. But he is prepared to come in if that situation comes up.
He's just incredible. He can really do anything at this point, and you wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. But what's next for him this year, besides the pitching? What's next for him throughout the last 9 games of the season? He's got 51. How far does he go?
He accomplished a 50-50. That was something that I think he set his mind to as a personal goal once he got to 40-40. I don't think his mind is at 60-60. When 9 games left.
Right.
Exactly. Home run and a steal per game. So I just think he focuses on making sure that, his mechanics are right, like just focuses on those things, and whatever comes from now on. I do think he might back off the stolen bases a little bit just so he doesn't get hurt. He doesn't get, potentially pull a hamstring or a quad or something. So that's the last thing you need right now is for somebody to just run just to get a stolen base, because at this point they've already clinched. They just need to win the games. Obviously, if the situation calls for a stolen base, he'll do it, but he's not going to do it just to do it. So I don't see the home run plus stolen base equation being a part of what he's doing. I think if he hits home runs, obviously that'll help the team win games, that they still need to clinch the division. But, I think he's just going to focus on getting himself right for the postseason.
Adrian Gonzalez, last thing. I just want to know what you think about the Dodgers now. Like you mentioned, they've clinched. But in terms of this starting pitching staff and all of the injuries that it has sustained, even though they have these massive offensive explosions, are you concerned about the Dodgers going into the postseason because of the starting pitching?
The short answer is I am not feeling 100% confident that they have every pitcher in place because they've had the injuries to Glasnow, to Stone, to the guys. Kershaw still, coming back from being hurt. So right now you have Yamamoto who's coming back and trying to build up for the postseason. You have Flaherty who's been throwing the ball great. That's your 1-2. I wish Yamamoto could be fully built up to be able to go 7 innings or even complete game in the playoffs if needed. I don't think he's going to be there. So to me, that's something that I would wish for him to be able to go all the way. And then you have Buehler who's been coming back and throwing the ball better lately. And then you have Landon Knack or Kershaw, and you don't know who else is going to be potentially a fourth starter there. So they're not at full strength. That we know. So they're going to have to kind of piece it together and play the hot hand. And if Yamamoto's throwing a great game, they're going to have to stretch him out a little bit. They're going to have to push him a little bit more. So they're not in that perfect scenario. They're 100% going into the playoffs on the pitching side. I really feel like if they're going to accomplish the ultimate goal, it's going to come from the offense. I think the offense is going to have to carry them a little bit. And so, on the pitching side, I wouldn't feel like 100%. Yes, they're there right where they want to be.
All right, Adrian, next time you come on, I want to talk about your documentary on Spectrum, which I have not yet seen. Bergie, have you seen the Adrian
I haven't
doc
seen
yet?
it yet, but I really want to. I've seen it there, and I'm planning on paying attention to it.
Okay, I want to talk about that next time. I want to talk about your podcast next time, and maybe we'll be talking about your Chargers against my Steelers next time.
Oh man, the Chargers. If you have a minute, no. The documentary. If you guys want to watch it, it's on Freebie or on Amazon Prime. It's been there for over a year now, and it's been great that Spectrum has started to show it. Yesterday was the first time showing it, and great responses so far. So it's been great, and go Chargers.
All right, that's where you and I don't see eye to eye any
I'm
longer.
with you, Cappy.
But that's all right.
Who's got it better than us?
Yeah, Adrian, have a great day. Will we be seeing you tonight on TV?
Yes, I'll be there. I will be
perfect.
Talking about the game before and after.
A nice bullpen game for you, Adrian.
Yeah, that's right.
Adrian, we'll talk to you, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for doing this.
Thanks.
All right, you guys. Thank you, Cappy. Thanks, Greg.
All right, Adrian Gonzalez stopping by. Great conversation. Hey, before we hit this break, I want to tell everybody about Prize Picks. Now, Bergie, I want everybody to listen up because here's what I want you to do. I want you to download the Prize Picks app. I want you to use my code Cappy, Kappy, and then I want you to win this weekend. And all you have to do is make your first $5 play, and you get a $50 bonus automatically. Whether you win or you lose, it doesn't matter. You make a $5 play, you get a $50 bonus. Now, I'm going to give you my NFL plays for the weekend. And by the way, just so you know, I did not come up with these numbers. This was done by somebody who does a ton more analysis than I do. They do a lot of analysis on the injuries of both teams and the health of both teams. So this is what my guy gave me this weekend for Prize Picks. Caleb Williams, all he has to do is pass for half a yard. It's a free square. They've been running this promotion all month of September. So you throw in Caleb Williams for the free square at half a yard passing. Lamar Jackson this weekend against the Cowboys, more than 218.5 passing yards. More than 218.5 passing yards on Lamar Jackson. DeAndre Swift from the Chicago Bears, more than 50.5 yards rushing, okay? And Kyron Williams from the Rams, less than 64.5 yards rushing. So it's Lamar, more than 218.5 passing yards. DeAndre Swift, more than 50.5 rushing yards. Kyron Williams, less than 64.5 rushing yards for the Rams. Those are my Prize Picks going into the weekend of NFL action. Download Prize Picks. Use my code Cappy, Kappy. Make that first play of $5, you get a $50 bonus. Let's play together, let's win together, and let's do it on Prize Picks.
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL. realfathersrights.com/710 or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights, the Fathers' Rights Attorneys.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
710 ESPN.
KSPN, Los Angeles.
A good karma brands radio station.
710 ESPN.
Sedano and Cap for your afternoon right now on 710 ESPN.
It's time for what you need to know.
Let's do it. What you need to know right now.
What you need to know is being brought to us by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times. less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. Here's one thing you need to know. Bergie is in for Sedano. Sedano should be joining us later this hour, which will be great because we've got our picks against the spread still coming. And it is time now for Lindsay Baseball, for what we all need to know.
Take it away, Lindsay.
All right, so what you need to know is that Arch Manning is going to making his first start for number 1 Texas on Saturday against UL Monroe. I don't know.
Louisiana Monroe.
Yeah,
Louisiana
I don't know
yes,
if that
ma'am.
school is that big of a deal, so maybe he's going to blow everybody away and they're going to think he's amazing and the next best thing since sliced bread. But, he's making his first start and everyone's, he's like the number 1 quarterback prospect in all of college football right now, so...
His last name is Manning,
That's
Cappy.
true. That's
true. That's right.
But Quinn Ewers, even though he's injured, he looked really good.
Well, I mean, he's like one of the top Heisman candidates.
Right.
He's considered to be, one of the top quarterback prospects for the NFL.
So don't get too used to Arch Manning.
I don't know. I got this
last year though, so right, technically, right?
Yeah, Steve Sarkisian has already said that Quinn Ewers is the quarterback. He's QB1 moving forward, no matter what. No matter what Arch Manning does.
Let me just say this.
Also said
Let me just say this. Here's what's going to happen. Just so we all are on the same page, and I know we will be. On Monday, everyone will be talking about Arch Manning and the 400 yards and the 4 touchdowns and the 75 yards rushing and the incredible statistical performance that Arch Manning had. And then we're going to all have to temper that excitement with, but it was against Louisiana Monroe.
Absolutely. Paul Feinbaum was saying how great it is. That's for sure.
Matthew McConaughey will be there.
He's
living, man. Livin. Living.
Kind of annoyed at that.
That is my favorite movie of all time.
Dazed and Confused?
Dazed and Confused. My favorite movie all time, bar none.
Yeah, one of my faves, too.
Yeah, that's great. But it's good. Quinn Ewers is going to be the starting quarterback. You can't, like you said, Cappy, he is a top Heisman candidate. He's a top 5 draft pick next year. You're not going to sit him for a guy that still has to be there next year.
Well, you're not going to because, put it this way, if Texas were playing against, I'm just making it up here, Oklahoma or Georgia or,
Alabama.
somebody that was a real competitive team, and Arch Manning goes out and has 400 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 75 yards rushing, a rushing score, and you go, well, you know what? He's better. Then, maybe you might. Because, by the way, there is precedence for something like this.
There is.
I think of myself, in my mind, I think of Jalen Hurts.
That was exactly where I was going.
Right. He's the quarterback at Alabama. Mm-hmm. He's led them to the national championship game, and they bench him and start Tua.
Yep. It all works out. You're right. It's the exact same thing, but this is not the case. It's going to be ULM. But by the way, Quinn Ewers, he's injured a lot. He's in his 3rd year, right? He's missed at least 6 or 7 games throughout his career. Yeah, I think it's 6. Mm-hmm. But the fact is that the guy's hurt a little bit. So if this is a worse injury than they're actually trying to say, then you might see Arch Manning a little bit more. But for the most part, I know Steve Sarkisian said he is not going to be starting past this week.
All right. Hey, that's what you need to know. It's being brought to us by Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Good times, less than 90 minutes from wherever you are. All right, let me say this. First of all, thanks to Adrian Gonzalez. That was a great appearance by Adrian. And we haven't even, touched on so many other things that we'd like to talk to him about. So I will plan on asking Adrian to come back throughout the postseason, and we'll see what happens. Greg, you heard what he said, though. He definitely is very apprehensive about the pitching staff, hopeful that the Dodgers offense can carry them. They're not going to score 20 runs against Milwaukee or San Diego or Arizona or Atlanta or the Mets. I mean, any of these teams that are right in the middle of this playoff race, they're beating up on the Louisiana Monroe of Major League Baseball, and that's the Miami Marlins.
Well, yeah, that was these last 3 games, and they lost one of them. But their August schedule, go back and look at it. It was very, very hard. They were playing some really top teams. They played the Orioles. They just went through Atlanta, and they took 2 of 4 there. They're playing good teams, so it wasn't just this. I've heard you talk about this over the last couple days, about how you feel that this team is not good enough because of their pitching staff. Is that right?
Well, what I'm saying is that I would be worried if I were a Dodger fan that all of these injuries to the starting pitching staff will catch up to them in the postseason. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right, and there's a lot of injuries and a lot of in the pitching staff, but it's the two most important ones that you have. Actually, Tyler Glasnow was extremely important. That didn't work out, and now he's injured and on the 60-day IL, so that was a huge loss. However, the next two, Jack Flaherty and Yoshinobu Yamamoto, are so important to what they are going to do here. If they can give length, and I really truly believe that they can give length and win those first two games, or maybe even have to pitch that fifth game, I really think they have a really good shot no matter who they play, because the offense is so good, and I love their bullpen.
Well, we are going to see what happens here, but as Adrian Gonzalez just said, he's nervous about the starting pitching. So now, all of this excitement yesterday about Ohtani, then it turns into last night, Thursday Night Football, and the Jets and the Patriots.
Stinker.
It was not a pretty football game at all, especially if you're like me and you're a newfound New England Patriots fan, and you got drunken in week one when the Patriots went on the road and they beat the Cincinnati Bengals, and you don't want to accept the statistics that Cincinnati every year gets off to these slow starts, and there's these numbers that support that, like Joe Burrow is like 1-9 in the 10 games of his first two games of the.
Yep.
By the way, I'm confusing the hell out of that stat. Nonetheless, Cincinnati gets off to really slow starts.
0-2 every year. It seems like it.
So here's the question, and everybody's having this conversation around the country today. Did Aaron Rodgers do anything last night to show you that he is back? For me, here's what I'll tell you. All this talk about Aaron Rodgers can't move, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have any mobility, Aaron Rodgers can only step up in the pocket, move laterally side to side. Aaron Rodgers, to me last night, he can run, he can throw on the run, he can make plays with his feet. I thought Aaron Rodgers last night, if you didn't know that Aaron Rodgers had a torn Achilles a year ago, you wouldn't have known watching him last night, because I thought Aaron Rodgers looked great. Is that a byproduct of a bad New England defense? In part. But I thought Aaron Rodgers looked great last night. And my favorite part of the game is when he comes over to the sideline and Robert Saleh goes to give him a hug and Aaron Rodgers gives him the double Heisman. Stay away from me.
Right. No, yeah, it was a little bit interesting what was going on there. But you're right. But the fact is that through the first 2 weeks, the first two games for New England, they were all saying how great of a defense, that New England has a good defense, and he was doing this against him. It was nice to see that Aaron Rodgers could move around the way that he did, but my question to you, Cappy, is this sustainable? Because I don't know how much at his age, coming off the Achilles, right now it looks good. Is it something that can go throughout the rest of the season? That's where I get a little bit iffy.
Well, I'm not really sure. I mean, if he stays healthy, I think that he can be what he was last night. And you're right, by the way. New England had one of the best defenses in the entire NFL for the second half of the season last year, but they do have a bunch of injuries. Listen, the Rams can understand what's going on with the Patriots, because the Patriots' offensive line is nearly as decimated as the Rams. But watching Rodgers come off the field last night and Saleh trying to give him a hug and Rodgers having no part of it, and I love the post-game commentary where they say to Aaron Rodgers, "Yo, man, what was that, bro?" Here's what he said.
There was that awkward exchange with you and Robert. You appeared to push him away.
No, it was not really awkward at all.
When he went to hug you, what happened?
I didn't know. He's not a big hugger, usually, so I didn't know he was going for the hug. He likes to do the two-hand chest push as well. So, but he talks a lot about two-score leads. So I just kind of gave him a push and said, two-score lead. That's what happened.
I am not buying that.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
that makes no sense to me. Can you explain that to me, Cappy? Two-score lead, two-hand chest push. That's why he put his hands out. I don't get it.
I don't know, man. But
any of that.
But have you ever been in that awkward situation where you see somebody, and you're like, "Yo, man, how you doing, man?" And like they don't go to hug you, but you kind of go to hug them, and they don't come back with the hug, and then it's that super weird, awkward time where it's like, "Oh God, I went to see this guy. I went to give him a hug. He didn't hug me back. Oh, I feel like such a jerk." Like I'm kind of with you, Lindsay. It's like something just doesn't make sense, because the way Aaron Rodgers was looking at him was like, "Get your freaking hands off of me."
He was not, the facial expression was not like, "Oh, yeah, that's right, man, that's right." It was like, what the hell are you doing?
2-score leads. 2-score leads.
It was
That's not what it was.
It was
not about the
celebratory
2-score
push.
lead.
Right. It was like, get your grubby paws off of me.
What do you think? You can touch me? Do you know who I am? I'm Aaron Rodgers.
It was
Don't
not a
touch me.
Celebratory thing. at
Don't.
all.
I don't like being touched. Don't touch me.
But see, that's why I always go in for guys. Like, I'll go in with the hand to do the hand and then wrap around the other arm for the hug, because you can't really just go straight in with a double arm hug to people most of the time, because they're not understanding what's happening.
Well, to me,
You know what
in
I'm
that
saying.
moment, I just sort of felt like we understand who's the boss.
Oh, it's Aaron Rodgers.
You know? Right?
Yeah, they
Hey,
put everything into him. It's absolutely Rodgers.
Hey, Bergie, I want to tell you something right now.
What's that?
This may come as a surprise to you, but inside the Sedano and Cap circle of trust on Twitter,
Oh, no. What's happening?
people are giving me some solid reviews for my Run DMC beatbox.
I saw that. It was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good. You didn't like it?
No, I mean, listen,
DeAndre, come on. Don't move your head like that. He can't see you.
Come on, DeAndre. Put DeAndre on camera. Let me see this young brother right here. Well, can you do a better beatbox?
Nah, I can't.
Let's hear it. Let's see what you got.
I can't.
Put on the Run DMC song and do a beatbox.
What's the one first? What's the one beatbox that I need to put on?
Which one?
You named a couple earlier.
Oh, Dougie Fresh,
Okay,
Fat Boys.
I'll put some Dougie Fresh
Not
on.
Bad
And
Boys,
then you'll
Fat
beatbox?
Boys.
Yeah, I'll beatbox.
You'll beatbox? All right, yeah. Do that
All right,
next.
I'll have a beatbox off with you.
Oh, a beatbox off.
Darn right.
Make sure to put the box
I'll
in there.
beatbox off with you. No problem. No problem at all. All right, stick around. Coming up, we want to get to the Rams. We want to get to the Raiders. We want to get to the Chargers. Are the Chargers going to play Justin Herbert against Pittsburgh? We'll get to these stories on the way. This is Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
ESPN LA and Beverly Hills Orthodontics are teaming up because we want to know who's smiling in SoCal. Go to ESPNLA.com and nominate who you think is making LA a better place. It could be a mentor, teacher, coach, good Samaritan, or you could nominate yourself. You could win prizes like sweet tickets, Sonicare electric toothbrushes, whitening treatment, or the grand prize, Invisalign. Enter now at ESPNLA.com, and remember, you're always smiling at Beverly Hills Orthodontics. Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Open or damage the structure of your home. Their equipment is advanced enough to listen to the exposed surfaces and indicate where the leak is occurring. They are widely used by homeowners, property managers, and even realtors to inspect pressurized water systems to make sure they're intact and functioning with no leaks. Call Omer at the Waterboy Leak Detection today, 818-518-5055. Visit thewaterboyinc.com. That's the Waterboy Leak Detection at 818-518-5055. Talk to Omer. He's going to take good care of you at the Waterboy. Visit thewaterboyinc.com.
Just as every point matters, every detail counts in our meticulously crafted vehicles. Experience luxury at the top of its game. Welcome to Cadillac of Beverly Hills, the #1 Cadillac dealer in the Western region for the 3rd year in a row. Come and check out the incredible selection of new and pre-owned vehicles today at our showroom, 8767 Wilshire Boulevard in Beverly Hills, and at CadillacBeverlyHills.com.
Feel the ground tremble. The Morongo Band of Mission Indians invite you to the 33rd Annual Thunder and Lightning Powwow. Enjoy authentic arts, crafts, and cuisine of Native American culture. All are welcome to this free, family-friendly event. Go to morongopowwow.com for more information. The Thunder and Lightning Powwow, September 27th through the 29th.
When pain keeps you from doing what you love, Hoag Orthopedic Institute gets you back to you. We are ranked number 18 in the nation and number 1 in Orange County for orthopedic and spine care by U.S. News & World Report. From the surf to the green, our world-class doctors are there, which is why more Californians choose Hoag Orthopedic Institute for orthopedic and spine care more than any other hospital. At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you. Proudly founded by premier physicians in partnership with Hoag. Learn more at HoagOrthopedicInstitute.com.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness, but money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
Why do we love SEC football? Because no matter the venue or the rivalry, it's the ultimate hang. Fans of every flavor, good-natured trash talk with a side of andouille. Yes! But according to Johnsonville and the Harris poll, 71% of Americans hang out less than they used to. Why? Could it be that rivalries off the field are tearing us apart? Is it crazy to think a sausage-fueled tailgate party could unite us all? Can't hurt. Keep it juicy out there. Johnsonville, official sausage of the SEC.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Stick 'em, stick 'em.
Yeah, yeah,
There you go,
yeah,
Deontay. Go.
yeah.
Stick 'em.
Yeah. Come on, DeAndre.
Go ahead. Don't be shy.
Oh, DeAndre.
Oh, that was weak, DeAndre.
That was so bad.
That was so bad.
I thought it was excellent.
And let me tell you something. People are killing me right now on the Sedano and Cap Circle of Trust community. Now, some people are like, hey, you know what? That's not a bad beatbox for a 54-year-old white guy.
There you
Not
go.
bad. Not bad.
When
But
you
come
were
on,
doing that-
DeAndre. You got to do better, dog.
You do got to do better.
It's difficult, man.
We got to get George's because he did a pretty good one a while ago.
He did?
Yeah, don't you remember?
No.
You got to remember that. He sounded kind of like a gorilla, but it was good.
I mean, Funchy, what do you think about DeAndre's beatbox that he just tried to do?
I give him points for trying to do it like the Fat Boys right now. With
So
the,
like 2?
Probably like I don't know, maybe a 4 out of 10.
4 out of
4 out of 10?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Get out. But Cap, you got like 7 and a half,
really?
maybe. Yeah.
Look at
That's
that.
because there was actual lyrics and stuff that was involved when Cap was doing his beatbox, so he knew the lyrics.
He lived through the times too.
Let me ask you this. Did you ever hear this song before now?
I actually have.
Oh, you have?
I have, yeah.
So then you have no excuse then.
Right.
Drop it down to a 3.
I mean, listen, I will grant you that's a hard one to do.
It is.
I mean, that's tough.
Was that Sedano or was that Cappy just now?
That was definitely Cap.
Are you sure that was me? I don't know if that was me or not.
Well, you said you were going to play Sedano, and then Cappy was doing
He's got
that.
to come on and do it live because it was so funny.
Look, that thing is not easy to do. Nobody should be trying to do that if you can't do it.
I mean, all I'm telling you is that I got beat up here by Daniel Jagers on Twitter. He says, as someone that can beatbox, it was terrible, Cappy.
Oh, you think
and I'm
so?
like, and I said, you know what, Daniel? If you can do it better, you call the show
right now.
I'm looking for somebody who thinks they know how to beatbox all up in it. You guys don't know how to beatbox.
877-710-3776. Call right now if you can
Yeah.
beatbox better than Cappy.
Come
just
on,
did.
Daniel. You want to beatbox?
Come on,
Let's
Daniel
do it.
Jaggers.
Come on. We'll do a beatbox off you and me.
As long as you leave the box in there, that's all that matters to me.
I mean, dude, my song was Hit It Run. Okay, when I got to that point and Hit It Run, I started busting out my beatbox. And Daniel, The challenge has been laid down.
So when you were doing this as a 18-year-old kid on the senior night at Walt Disney World, you were in Miami, in Orlando?
Oh. Yeah, Orlando.
I didn't know you were in Florida at that point. But either
Yes.
way, did you have the long hair? Like, what was the whole
No,
look for
I didn't
Cappy
really
at
have
that
the long
point?
hair. All I know is this, is that there was Michael Bolton on the stage, and then there was Run DMC on the stage. And when Run DMC busted out Hit It Run, and they got to the part where you beatboxed, rather than me stopping singing the lyrics, I actually jumped into the beatbox, and then there were all these other kids around going, really, dude? Like, is that, are you for real right now? Like, you're really doing that right here, right now? I'm like, yeah, I'm beatboxing. I am. It's part of the song.
Yeah.
So if you know the lyrics, part of the lyrics were, that was part of the lyrics.
See, that wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible, but like I understand what you're doing, because when I was in my senior year, what I did was me and my friends, granted, a bunch of white Jewish kids in Calabasas, not really the top of what you would think. We all got on this boat that we did off the coast, like around Long Beach, and we all sea walked. That was the thing that we did. We would sea walk.
What do you mean? Like you guys got out on the water and walked on the water?
Have you seen? No. He's like we were on the boat and we would just sea walk. That was the dance that we did.
Let me see what a sea walk looks like. Let me see.
Well, have you seen the video that I did at the Sunset Room?
I was there. I saw it in person.
You saw that? See that? That was what we. All
What
of us
song
were
do you
doing.
sea walk to?
All of these white boys, Jewish white boys, doing that. It was.
What
it was
song
a sight
do
to
you?
see.
What song do you sea walk to?
It can be pretty much anything. I mean, just give me some. I can do it if you want me to.
Give him a beat. Give him a funky beat.
Give me something like from the '90s.
Give some Dr. Dre.
Some Dre? Well, no, that's gonna be a little slower.
Yeah, you need something fast.
Like just anything from the Up in Smoke tour. That was where they do that.
I don't know, Funch. What do you think? You want to see Bergie sea walk
I would
right
love
here?
to. I would love to. Snoop, some Snoop, anything.
I did it on there.
Let him do some Eminem. I don't know, something.
I mean, somebody go onto the YouTube and watch what's going on YouTube right now. I'll tell you that right now.
I need some kind of beat if I'm going to do this.
Yeah, I don't think Eminem is great for crip walking.
No, it's not.
No.
It's not great for crip walking.
How about like some Ice Cube? Like what's that from? Like the Save the Last Dance? Ice Cube, baby. 99, baby.
He can do it.
Put your back into it.
Snoop does it all the time. The guy that did Fix My Car, or was it not?
Pimp My Ride.
Pimp My Ride. Yeah.
Fix My Car.
A guy who did Fix My Car.
Fix My Car.
Yo, Fix My Car.
That's what it's called in Calabasas. It's Fix My Car, not Pimp My Ride. Okay.
Okay. All right. All right.
Exhibit. Thank you. Exhibit is what I'm trying to think of. Sometimes the brain doesn't work, Cappy.
Come on, man. All I know is this: anybody who thinks they got a better beatbox. Anybody who thinks anybody who got a better beatbox,
nobody's calling about the beatbox. Cap.
You call. Who's calling about the beatbox?
Nobody, because one person called and I was like, "Oh, this person's got a beatbox." I pick up the phone and he's like, "Yeah, I won a contest back in March, and I can't find the email."
Come on, Daniel
God.
Jaggers.
So I don't think that's happening, Cap.
Where you at, Daniel Jaggers?
Yeah, Daniel. For somebody who says he can beatbox, come on, dog. Where you at?
Put your money where your mouth is. Come on.
All right. Well, hey, listen, Bergie.
Yes, sir.
I have a big concern going into this weekend, and it's about your Raiders.
Why? They're going to go 6-1 in their next 7 games.
I hope you're right, but here's what I'm concerned about. So in week 1, nobody gave the New England Patriots a chance against the Cincinnati Bengals, and it blew up everybody's survivor pool.
Right.
Week 2, nobody
thing.
gave the Raiders a chance against the Ravens, and it probably blew up anybody who was still surviving in their survivor pool. If you've seen the Carolina Panthers play in the first 2 weeks,
they are awful.
They got motorboated by the by the New Orleans Saints. Then last week they just got trucked by the Chargers. This week the Raiders are, I've seen 6.5 point favorites. In fact, Lindsay, you might want to check ESPN Bet and see what the line is right now. My natural inclination is to say, I saw the Raiders last week. I saw them down on the road. I saw them down to a team that I thought was one of the best teams in the NFL, and they came back and they won that game. And I'm a Gardner Minshew believer. But for some reason, the way the NFL works, where things are just a little freaky, where Atlanta can't get out of their own way in week 1 and then they beat Philadelphia in week 2, something has me just slightly worried that when you make a switch at quarterback to Andy Dalton, who, by the way, I want to say in his career is 3-0 against the Raiders. He's passed for like 700 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. I got it. It's been a long time, but he's had a lot of success against the Raiders organization in the 3 games he's played against them. I don't know, man. Just in a weird NFL where you can never figure it out every week, I'm worried about your Raiders.
See, normally I would agree with you, especially if it was just a couple of years ago and the defense that they had. They have not had a defense that's like this one now in years. It's going to be a top 5 defense this year by the time the year ends. It's so good. Max Crosby, Christian Wilkins, everybody. Diablo has been amazing. I think he's a little bit injured. But no matter what, a couple of years ago, I remember going to SoFi and being at the Rams game against the Raiders, and out walks Baker Mayfield, who just got off the couch, off the plane, and just walked out and beat the Raiders in the last few minutes of the game. That's a typical Raider thing to do, to allow a guy like Baker Mayfield at that point and Andy Dalton right now to take over and win a game. I don't think this Raiders team is the same. I think they're much, much better than it was even just a couple of years ago because the defense is so good. And Minshew, all he has to do is find 2 guys. 2 guys, that's it. Find Devontae Adams, find Brock Bowers, you'll be solid. That's all that matters against a team that's not very good. I get why you're worried about it, Cappy, but you should not be. This Raiders team is different from any of the ones you've seen over the last 20 years.
Boy, I hope you're right, man, because I'll tell you this right now. If on Sunday, if the lowly ass Carolina Panthers somehow shock the world and beat the Raiders in their home opener, Antonio Pierce fired.
On the spot? No. Just right after he just beat Lamar Jackson and the Ravens? No way.
All right. Maybe I'm exaggerating just a little bit, but come on.
A little bit.
Seriously.
A little bit.
By the way, ESPN Bet still has it as -6 for the
Okay.
Raiders.
Very good.
They're going to cover. They're totally going to cover.
Let me just tell you guys that Radio Tinder is coming up next, but before we get there, I want to talk to everybody for a quick second. I have been very open and honest, probably a little too much. I should shut my big fat mouth, about my personal situation with my divorce, with my custody stuff, with financial stuff, with going back and forth to court. And here's what I can tell you, and this is the reason I'm willing to talk about this stuff, is because when I was going through it, I felt like I was the only person in the world that was going through it, and I found that there were other guys going through the exact same thing that I was, and that gave me some relief that there were other people out there that were feeling what I was feeling. And here's what I want to tell you. You need a team to get behind you to get you the justice that you deserve. Now, I've introduced you to Mark Reel from Real Fathers' Rights. Mark was a guest on the show when we were out at Rams training camp. I have been out to his office several times to visit with him, the attorneys that are working there, and the folks that are there supporting the entire team. The team is here to help you. Real Fathers' Rights, they are experts in how to navigate the family court system so that you guys can keep your happiness, and fellas, you can get the justice that you deserve. If you are going through this now, or maybe you want to be preemptive, you should be talking to Real Fathers' Rights. REEL, realfathersrights.com/710. REEL, realfathersrights.com/710. Here's a phone number, 323-870-1611. 323-870-1611. Real Fathers' Rights, the Fathers' Rights attorneys. And coming up next, it is time for Tinder.
Going up the right side, going for Colbert. They're pushing him, but he makes the catch anyway. Steps away at the 10 and walks into the end zone. What a play by Kerry Colbert. Touchdown, USA. How do you do?
Coverage begins Saturday at 10:30 a.m. with the Trojan Tailgate Show, presented by Yeti.
Kickoff from the Big House at 12:30.
The home of USC football.
710 ESPN.
Come to Carden Alleyway Hyundai and lease a new 2025 Hyundai Elantra SC for only $189 a month plus tax for 36 months, or $199% APR for 60 months, your choice. Plus, get peace of mind driving with America's best warranty. Carden Alleyway Hyundai just off the 91 freeway, or CardenAlleyWayHyundai.com. Lease for $189 plus tax. License and fee to well-qualified buyers. 36-month lease, 10K miles per year, $29.99 due at signing. 1.99% APR at $28.64 per $1,000 finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Subject to HMF credit approval. Expires 9/30/2024.
Park
party, and play at Hollywood Park Casino. LA's premier card room now open 24/7. Tune in all this week to Travis and DeMarco to win the ultimate game day prize pack from Hollywood Park Casino. That includes this Sunday's tailgate party passes to HPC and game day tickets at SoFi. Listen for your cue to call 877-710-ESPN and don't miss your chance to win the ultimate game day prize pack. Tailgate passes to HPC and game tickets to SoFi, Hollywood Park Casino, park, party, and play. Must be 21 and older to enter.
Over 20 years ago, the first batch of Tito's handmade vodka was distilled in the heart of Austin, Texas. Since then, its roots have stayed put, and its vodka continues to be made on the same land where Tito built his dream. A distillery called Mockingbird that houses a simple vodka with a spirit the size of Texas and as good as the day it was born. Learn more about the Tito's story at titosvodka.com. That's titosvodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas. 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Cappy! I can't wait for golf this weekend, huh, buddy? Time flies. Love you, man. Oh, don't forget your knee brace again. We aren't in college anymore.
Moments together matter, so help protect yourself from RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV, and there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
And it is Sedano and Cap, around 5:30 p.m. in the Southland. Radio Tinder time. We like to play a TV theme. You can follow her at Lindsay Baseball on Twitter or Instagram. Don't forget about our sponsor, Tequila Mandala. Always swipe right on Tequila Mandala. Take it away, producer Lindsay.
I'll just play for 1 second.
There is more to life than what's your lip. So take a chance and face the wind. An open road and a road that's hit. A brand new life around the bend. There were times.
Cap, aren't you going to do the Tony Danza impression?
You mean when he told us to go F ourselves?
No, I mean when he says, hey, Angela. But we can play that, too.
Angela. No, I like the part where he told us to F off.
Now, let me play that really quick. Hold on. It's 15 seconds, so we'll play it quickly.
Is he looking for somebody? Tony Danza?
Dr. Clapper.
Oh, he's looking for Clapper?
Tony Danza's looking for
Forget
Clapper?
Forget it. Put him on the line with us. Forget about Clapper.
Oh.
Hey, Tony.
Nice. Whoa, dump that, guys.
Tony.
Yeah, that's me.
I like when Sedano says Angela.
Yeah.
He does too.
He's supposed to be here any minute.
All right, well, let's play Radio Tinder, and then we'll get Sedano back on. He'll be ready to roll.
All right, guys, so Radio Tinder time. Tennessee football announced that they're going to be increasing their football ticket prices by an average of about 15% in 2025. And that's because most of that new cost is going to go to a talent fee to pay players. So do you guys think that this is going to become a thing everywhere? Swipe left or swipe right? Cappy, you go first.
I'm going to swipe right. I mean, come on. Listen, my alma mater, the University of Pittsburgh, this past week fired their athletic director for no reason. I mean, like there was no, like, she didn't do anything wrong.
Pitt?
Yeah. And listen.
They probably hired like some 20-year-old that knows about NIL and TikTok.
Well, what they did was they said, look, she's been super successful. Basketball has started to come back. Football is okay. But like women's volleyball, #1 in the country. In fact, as #1 in the country, just beat Penn State 3 straight, and they were #3 in the country. So they're like, hey, look, she's doing such a great job with the other sports. They're like, yeah, well, who cares? We need somebody who knows how to raise money to pay football players and basketball players. That's all that matters. Find a way to get money to pay for football players and basketball players. That's all that matters. And so you know what? Tennessee, that's who you said, right, Lindsay?
Correct.
That stadium, I think it's called Neyland Stadium, is like 110,000 people. Place is jam-packed. Everybody looks like a creamsicle in that place, right? And they're going to raise their ticket prices to pay the athletes. Hey, somebody got to pay them. Major League Baseball teams raise their prices every year. Why? Because they're raising more money to pay for all the stuff, mostly players. I got no problem with it.
I just think it's kind of crazy, though, because, like, the students can't afford tickets as it is, right?
Yeah, there's plans.
Usually the students kind of get free tickets or get, like you got to remember, we're talking about like 110,000 people. So if the students are 20,000 or 30,000, it's the other 70 or 80,000 people that are going to have to pay up.
Right.
Hi, Greg. What do you think?
Cappy's absolutely right. You swipe right. That's the world that we're living in. If they can find ways to actually, like, that would benefit UCLA a huge, huge amount. They do not do NIL very well at all. They have something called like Men of Westwood or something along those lines. But for the most part, their NIL is poor and is not good. Only in basketball it is. In football, it's terrible, and that's why they don't get anybody. This is why we pay attention to people like Oregon and Ohio State and Alabama and Texas A&M, because they have high NIL that pays these players so well. This is the way to go. If you can find ways to get it through ticket prices or whatever it happens to be, so that you don't have to go find somebody like Casey Wasserman to be the only one that actually gives money, then they're going to have to do it that way.
But Greg,
100% with it.
Greg, the only problem for UCLA is they can raise ticket prices all day long, but if they can't sell any, that's a problem.
That is a little bit of a problem. But mostly it gets better later on in the season. The first month of the season is always bad because UCLA is on a quarter system. So there are no students actually there because it's more commuter.
Well, wait a minute, though. That's the case. Weren't you saying, Cap, that was the case for a lot of schools?
Well,
The first week.
like for example, Oregon is also Oregon has not even started school yet. Can you imagine? The kids who go to Oregon have not even started school yet. You go watch a game up at Oregon, packed.
Is Autzen, I don't know the answer to this, is Autzen on campus or is it off it? Do you have to drive to it?
I've never been. My understanding is on. Apparently they've got, George might know.
Again, that's different too for UCLA. The campus is in Westwood and the stadium is in Pasadena. So
he said yes on
campus. George is saying yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep rolling. Let's keep moving on.
Funchy's got the next one.
All right, guys. Today, 25 years ago, Law & Order SVU premiered on TV. I'm in love with Detective Olivia Benson. She just does it for me. I don't know who she is. Yeah, I watch it literally every day, even for a few minutes. Now, no swiping left or right here. Do you guys have a show you literally watch every day, even for a few minutes, Bergman?
So right now, I've started watching, I don't know why, it's actually really just, I watch Big Brother every single day now.
Yeah, I didn't even know they're still on.
Yeah, it's on. It's on season 26, and I started earlier. I just finished season 25 and started season 26. I watch it all the time. It's fascinating. It's on 3 times a week, like Sunday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and it's just perfect. I love it so much. I don't know why. It's just compelling to me.
I watch this show every day. I mean, literally every single day. There's not a day that goes by. I watch the same show every single day. It's a little show. You guys have probably never heard of it. It's called Sports Center.
Oh, yeah, I guess you're right. I watch Sports Center every day.
Look at you.
I didn't even think of that.
Synergy. I mean, that's the only thing. It's the only thing I watch every day. Last night, I turned on Netflix. We were going to try and find a new series, and we wanted something small. 6 episodes, 10 episodes, something that we can kind of take down. We watched the, I think it's called Monsters. It's about the Menendez brothers and the murder of their parents. Remember that whole story? Yeah. Everybody does? Dude, I watched the first 2 episodes. Episode 1, good. Episode 2, boring as hell. Don't know if I'll go back for episode 3.
So the Menendez brothers, they went to my high school.
No way.
Yep, they went to Calabasas High School, and I lived on Topanga. I lived on Old Topanga or something like that, and they lived right around the street from me.
And that's where that went down, the murder?
It all went down right around the street from where I lived.
I thought it was like all Beverly Hills. The way the cops made it seem was like, hey, you're making us look like idiots. We're the cops in Beverly Hills.
It was on Mulholland Highway, and it was right around the corner from Stunt Road from where I lived. And I wasn't living there at the time, but that's where it was, and they went to Calabasas High School.
Wow.
I wonder if they rope in the whole Menudo saga in there.
Well, there's a lot of music in the first 2 episodes. It's Milli Vanilli. It's I'm trying to remember who else. There was this one weird scene where they go to the funeral and the brother decides to play a Milli Vanilli song about the mom, like, I'm going to miss you, girl. You know?
Well, what I meant by Menudo was like their dad, the one that they killed.
Yeah.
He abused, he basically used Menudo as allegedly a breeding ground to abuse young boys, and that's why there was all those different.
I haven't gotten to that part of it yet.
You guys
he
remember
was rough on those kids? I'll tell you that.
You guys remember Mark Jackson, the basketball player?
Yeah.
He has a trading card with the Menendez brothers in the background, sitting front row.
Wow.
That's interesting.
That's weird. It's like one of the most rare cards you can find.
If anybody has watched that series, let me know, because I'm 2 episodes into 9, and I don't know if I'm going to go back for episode 3.
Yeah, it's just too gruesome for me. It's the whole thing. From what I understand, they said that they were being molested, but it actually wasn't that. They just wanted the money.
Oh, that's not true.
It wasn't just the money. From the way they tell the story last night is like the one son is playing tennis. He loses a tennis match, and in front of everybody, the father comes out of the stands and is berating the kid. And he's not a child. I mean, he's like 18 years old, berating the kid in front of everybody. So there was a lot of abuse, at least the way the story is being told through the first 2 episodes. Like I said, don't know if I'll come back for 3. All right, baseball, what do you got for number 3 here?
Well, does George Sedano want to jump in with us?
What's up, George? No?
I had suggested to him to wait until
I'm
after
here.
Tinder, but there he is. There you go.
Hey, if he's here.
I'm here.
Look at
Hi,
him.
George.
George, how was James Madison today? How's he?
James Madison, one of the forefathers. He's great, I'm sure.
Doing well. That's good to hear.
Their coaching staff was delightful, a little behind schedule, and it wasn't their flight. I forgot. They're a 4.5-hour drive. So they came in their luxury buses, and they got there late. So we just had to kind of wait around for them,
I understand. Hey, listen, you got to do what you got to do. I mean, they're the subject. You got to wait it out for them. Lynn, should we do one more Radio Tinder? Or should
I
we?
think we should.
And Greg, I actually agree with Greg on the UCLA stuff. It's not easy when your campus is literally like an hour and change away from the stadium.
Especially the traffic that you're trying to get through there. You go from the 405
Oh my God.
to the 101.
Yeah. Could you imagine? It's impossible.
You literally have to take 3 different freeways to get there.
Right, but hold on, one thing.
Dude, I used to live in Pasadena, Cappy, and wouldn't go to UCLA games because of the traffic just getting in and out of the Rose Bowl.
Wait, but does USC
I understand.
have the same problem?
No, USC is right.
USC, the Coliseum is right next to the campus.
Right, but here's the thing.
I mean, just traffic in general.
No, but
you can walk if you're a student. To his point,
the train actually stops right there. So
right
you get off
there.
the train
But the other part of it is, and I get it, guys, because listen, George, UCLA doesn't have an on-campus stadium. Miami doesn't have an on-campus stadium.
No, they play at the Dolphin Stadium, right?
Which is very, very difficult to get students to go to those games. My alma mater, we had an on-campus stadium that I played in when I was in college, but now they play where the Steelers play. And even though it's a lot easier and a lot closer than it is to go from Westwood all the way to Pasadena, the students still don't want to come unless it's a massive game. I'm all for raising the ticket prices to put money into the NIL, but if you can't get people to go to the game,
no, I agree. Yes.
Raising ticket prices doesn't help.
And by the way,
Right.
UCLA actually wanted an on-campus stadium. They had it all built, had it all, or about to be built, had it all figured out. The people around it in Beverly Hills and Westwood, they said, no, we don't want that because of the traffic that would come through here. And they stopped it, they blocked it, and that's why it didn't happen.
Yeah, well, because that area is such a pricey neighborhood.
So
like
It's
the
also
fact that
super tight to get around in there too.
Yeah, the fact that Paulie's even there is insane. When you think about like the hoity-toity nature of the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying?
100%.
So like, yeah, like an on-campus stadium would never work. It's very similar to, you mentioned Miami. I don't know about Pitt. I've only been to their campus once, Cappy, but like Miami's campus is in Coral Gables, which is basically like Westwood, or it's like, Bel Air, right? It's like that, so they don't want a stadium there either,
No, it always sucks when you don't have an on-campus stadium and your students can't walk there and drink there and party there before the game. It's very hard to get people there. The whole thing about Tennessee is you've got over 100,000 people. I don't know what the student population is and how many tickets are either given away or part of your like student fees, but you got to have 70, 80,000 people there that are all locals and supporters. And if they're paying, $50 a ticket, and next year they have to pay $65 a ticket, and that extra $15 is going into buying players, well, you got to find ways to make money. You got to find ways to generate revenue.
Right. And you're basing this off the Tennessee conversation.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
Georgie,
but here's what I'll say, Cappy, is that
tell me.
I just think that ultimately some of these schools, to keep up, it's the only way to do it. Like, you have to find creative ways to generate money.
Yeah, I like what Tennessee's got in mind. George, as we get ready to hit this break, you know that Radio Tinder is presented by Tequila Mandala.
Yes, always swipe right on Tequila Mandala, award-winning small batch premium sippy tequila made from the finest mature agaves. Available, not those immature agaves. Available everywhere fine tequilas are sold. Visit their website, tequilamandala.com, and demand the extraordinary with Tequila Mandala.
All right, there you have it. George, you back? You ready to go? You ready to come in for the last hour and change?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if Bergman wants to stick around, I mean, we're all in Bergmania right now. So, I mean, it's up to him.
You are, but thank you very much for having me. It is time for me to head home, though.
Why? What do you got to do? What do you have going on?
I have a lot
Where are you
to do,
going?
You got nothing going on.
Including rest. That is the first thing that I need. So I am out of here. Thank you very much, Cappy. It was fun. Sedano, have a great time.
All right. Listen, coming up, we are going to get to our picks against the spread. Now that George is here, you know what we do. Every week, we're going to have our 1 through 5. It's all on the way. Stick around. This is Sedano and Cap.
Calling all tradespeople, maintenance, and facilities pros. DeWalt is hooking up you and a teammate with 2 tickets to the Rams home.
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter. Trone sampling for the crowd. The Rams post-game show live after the game from Hollywood Park Casino. Park, party, and play at HPC, LA's premier card room, now open 24/7.
All right, everybody, let's talk about Prize Picks. I want you to download the Prize Picks app, use my code Cappy, Kappy, and George Sedano, I think I now have you wrapped up in Prize Picks.
Oh, I'm all in, Cappy. I'm a newbie to this thing, but I am absolutely learning very quickly. I'm playing WNBA. I'm playing baseball. I'm playing football. More, less, you name it, I'm in.
Okay, everybody, for the month of September, Caleb Williams. Everybody watched Caleb Williams win the Heisman down the street at USC. Now we're watching him perform for the Chicago Bears. His normal, more or less number for yards passing would be 215.5. George, it's a free square at only half a yard.
Take the W, man. And by the way, you can win up to 100 times your money on Prize Picks with as little as 4 correct picks. And it's the best way to get action on sports in most states, including California, like we are here.
I want you to download the Prize Picks app. Use our code Cappy, Kappy. Let's all play together. Let's all win together. And let's do it on Prize Picks.
Hey, it's Travis.
And DeMarco.
Hey, accidents can be shocking, devastating, and difficult to deal with, which is why you should never deal with them alone and have family on your side.
Joseph S. Normand and his trusted team are family, and they're here to help you achieve the maximum compensation you deserve.
You know, when my son was in an accident, we called Joseph at 213-747-2000, and he was able to help.
You have many choices in a legal team, but family always comes first.
Visit normandlegal.com or call 213-747-2000. That's 213-747-2000. The law offices of Joseph S. Normand.
Come out for a day of golf and fun and help support the men and women who fight for our freedom. On Monday, November 11th, the Pacific Palms Resort in the City of Industry will play host to the 2024 Land of the Free Foundation Veterans Day Golf Classic. All proceeds from the tournament will go directly to charities who support the men and women of our armed forces. For more information on the tournament, please visit the website landofthe.freefoundation.org or give them a call at 562-833-4361.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's Second Chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense are money to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
How is that related?
On 710 ESPN.
Yeah. Sedano and Cap back on 710, and now Sedano returns to the airwaves. George, you have no idea what you've missed so far today.
I heard beatboxing.
Yeah, here's what happened. Actually, I don't even remember what happened. Does anybody remember what happened?
Biz Marquis, we did Biz Marquis, and we started talking about beatboxing.
Is that really what happened?
So then Cap beatboxed, and then people on Twitter were saying that his beatbox was terrible, and then some said it was good, and then DeAndre beatboxed, and it was very funny. I don't know if it was good, but it was very entertaining. And we said, remember that time that George did it?
George, you got a beatbox inside of you?
Yeah, but not well.
I think it was pretty good. I think it was better than DeAndre's and Cap's.
Well, of course you do.
I mean, it was.
Of course you do. Of course you do. I mean, is there anything that anybody here can do that is anything better than what George does in your eyes? I mean, come on. Let's be honest about it, girl. Come on. Come on.
Whoa.
I mean,
wow.
He's George and very anti everybody else. It's just
you
the way
sound
it goes.
very jelly, is what you sound.
Very jelly, like the jelly inside that peanut butter and jelly M&M. Very jelly. No love, none, zero.
Oh, Cappy, you know what I had today at the North Carolina facility earlier today?
Tell me.
They have a Gatorade slushy machine.
Ooh, wow. I love a Gatorade slushy. Just the other night, I put my Gatorade bottle in the hotel little mini fridge, and it like turned into an ice block. And then I took it out, and then like 45 minutes later, it was like a Gatorade slushy. Ooh, and it was unintentional. So tell me more.
It was delicious. This is real, and they had the orange flavor and the lemon lime. I didn't try the lemon lime, but I tried the orange, and it was intense. Like there was a lot of electrolytes in that thing. so like I was awake as beings very quickly. Like not that I wasn't already awake, but it was very impressive. I'd never seen anything like that before.
That sounds like when you go to a bar and they've got those frozen margarita.
Yeah, but
things.
I'm not touching that. That's usually the worst liquor is in that thing.
Well, I'm not saying it's good liquor. I'm just saying that it can be very sweet and very tasty. And I always love
for sure.
I like the texture of that.
Yeah,
the slushy texture.
So I loved it, and I was very It was it. I could feel the electrolytes through my body very quickly because it was very. I mean, I'm guessing for a football team, right? They need a lot of electrolytes in there, but So it was just something I'd never seen. I thought it would catch your attention. Speaking of catching your attention, right now in this classic ACC matchup on ESPN, it is Stanford threatening to score first here against Syracuse on ESPN television.
Well, it's funny. Before during the Super Crosstalk, Mason said he was taking Syracuse tonight over Stanford because
I would tell anyone to take Stanford in this game.
He was saying that Stanford's terrible, and he said they have to do the cross-country trip. You talk about the longest possible trip you could take from Palo Alto to Syracuse, New York.
Well, I think Cuse is a touchdown favorite or so. No, I would take Stanford has actually played well. Like, I don't know what Mason's been watching. Like,
well, he probably hasn't been watching.
Hasn't. There's no way he's been watching Stanford and Syracuse football.
Well, George, I was breaking down Stanford over Cal Poly.
Stanford against TCU is a pretty good team, and Stanford just scored the first touchdown.
Oh, you're 15 seconds ahead of me.
What a stab there by number 13, man. Alec Iomaner. He's like their stud receiver. That guy's an NFL receiver.
Alec Iomaner?
Yeah.
Well,
look at this one-handed catch. Whoa!
Well, hold on a second here. I've got 7:29 to go. Stanford quarterback rolling right. Number 13.
That was good, right, Links?
Ooh.
That was great.
Look at that. What a catch radius on that guy.
Yeah,
that was a beautiful catch.
Look at that angle.
That was a beautiful catch.
That is it. I'm telling you, that kid's playing in the NFL.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You've been doing a lot of scouting on the Stanford receiver, number 13?
I've been doing a lot of scout. If you're in the ACC, I know you, bro.
I know you, bro. I see you, bro. I see you, Alec Iomaner.
Alec Iomaner.
Yeah, him too.
Yeah. I think Stanford's going to cover this one. So.
All right, well.
There were 6.5-point dogs, or was it 9.5? Hold on, let me see. Double check.
Now, Syracuse has the quarterback that was at Ohio State last year, right?
6.5. Syracuse has, Kyle McCord, who was the kid who went 11-1 at Ohio State last year, yeah.
And Syracuse so far this year, just since I'm watching this game now, beat Ohio University.
And they beat Georgia Tech at home, who was pretty good, yeah.
Yep. All right. And then here they go. They've got Stanford. Stanford's extra point is up and good. It's 7-0. The Cardinal over the Orange.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. A little college football action tonight. Beautiful. What time's your game tomorrow?
9 a.m. Pacific.
Okay, because that's good for me. Because I can then watch your game tomorrow morning.
Right.
And then I can go into USC. And USC Michigan is at 12:30 local.
Right.
And simultaneously, UCLA LSU is at 12:30 local tomorrow.
Correct. Yes.
So I'm going to have a nice little afternoon, I think. I haven't spoken to the boss yet to find out if I'm allowed to watch college football. I have not yet asked the boss.
Yeah. Yeah. So why was Mason so confident about Stanford losing at Syracuse?
I don't know, man. This was his big pick tonight. You know, he's like, I gotta have action. I gotta have action.
Okay.
Why wouldn't he ask you of all people? You know, as in you, George Sedano, the guy who calls ACC games.
I mean, you'd think, but I don't know. You know, Mason's very impulsive.
He is indeed. Speaking of being impulsive, let's get to the top of the hour, George, because then we're going to get to go 30 minutes commercial free.
Yeah.
Compliments of Real Father's Rights. So how about we get to the top of the hour and then let's go get it.
See.
All right. Hey, before we do, can I just tell everybody about Seller's Advantage? Because when I met with the folks from Seller's Advantage, I asked, the first question I always ask is, what is the value add for all of the people who listen to 710? And the value add, and I'll get into what they do, but the value add is this. If you're trying to sell your house, it can be time consuming, it can be expensive, believe it or not, and it can be complicated. What Seller's Advantage does is they make you a competitive cash offer. They don't ask you to fix anything up. You don't have to paint the walls. You don't have to change out the carpet. You don't have to move out your furniture and stage the house. They buy it as is. So that's the value add, is that you don't have to do anything. They give you a cash offer and boom, you are in and you are out and you have your money. Now look, everybody has different reasons for wanting to sell their house. Some people are ready to downsize because their kids have gone out of school or have left the house. Some people have inherited a property. They don't want to hold on to that property. Or you know what? Maybe it's just time for a change in your life. You decide whatever the reason is. I'm telling you right now, Seller's Advantage has a custom solution to fit your needs, and they will make you that very competitive cash offer, no repairs needed, and they can close in days. No complicated closing process, no contracts falling through. They've got all these great reviews to show you how happy people have been when using the services of Seller's Advantage. So here's what I want you to do. Call them today for a no-obligation offer. 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-AS-IS, 888-390-2747. The website is sellersadvantage.com. We're going commercial free next.
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Reigns. Must be 21. Play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit problemgambling.ca.gov.
Hey guys, it's Cappy. You've heard me talk about my personal situation with my divorce and subsequent custody battle in the past, and I know that you need a team behind you to get the justice you deserve. My friend Mark Reel and his team at Real Fathers Rights are here to help you guys. Visit realfathersrights.com/710. That's REEL. realfathersrights.com/710 or call 323-870-1611. That's 323-870-1611. Real Fathers Rights. The Father's Rights Attorneys.
710 ESPN, your home for the 17-time world champion Lakers.
KSPN Los Angeles, a Good Karma Brands radio station. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. It's 5 p.m. in the Southland. Turn it up, man. Time to blow that 5 o'clock whistle with Sedano and Cappy.
That's right, it's the 5 o'clock hour on Sedano and Cap. and it's time for 30 minutes non-stop.
Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
With fun and frivolity, tomfoolery and hijinks, and Cappy doing his thing, thanks to our friends at Real Father's Rights. Real Father's Rights, the father's rights attorney. Visit realfathersrights.com or call 951-482-7517. Let's do it, 5 o'clock in the Southland.
30 minutes of non-stop Sedano and Cap starts now.
You ready for this?
And time for the Real Father's Rights 5 o'clock hour on 710 ESPN. Let's do it, Jack!
Come on, let's go. Final hour of our work week. First hour has an H, second hour did not have an H in that sentence. Final hour of the week. And then, Georgie, we're going to hand things off to you tomorrow. We're all going to be watching tomorrow morning. North Carolina against James Madison. By the way, I just saw something on the lower third on ESPN that North Carolina is starting their third quarterback in 4 weeks. Is that right?
Jacobe Criswell. And so it's interesting, Cappy. He came here, many years ago and was competing, going toe-to-toe with Drake May, your boy, your boy's boy. Because your buddy, Alex Van Pelt, is now the offensive coordinator in New England. And, I mean, everyone you talk to around here says they went toe-to-toe, and then he got a hamstring pull, Jacoby. And so he lost out. Then Drake May became Drake May, right? So he transferred to Arkansas, came back this year after 1 year at Arkansas because they had a coaching change, so he was going to not be able to play there, and came back despite knowing that he was going to be the third-string quarterback. And because they had Max Johnson originally, which was Brad Johnson's kid. Brad Johnson, who played in the NFL, Vikings, and Tampa Bay Bucks, won a Super Bowl with Keyshawn.
Yeah, right.
And Max Johnson.
His kid? What happened to that guy?
He broke his leg, dude, in the opener at Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah, like bad. So out for the whole season for sure. It's a gruesome injury. So don't go see it on the internet if you want to. It's just not good.
Once you tell me not to go see it, I'm going to go see it.
No, I know, and I'm guessing I don't remember if the broadcast actually showed multiple replays of it. I don't believe they did, but yeah, it was just not good.
Okay.
So the poor kid was in the hospital for like 2 weeks after the surgery. So anyway, then they started the backup, who was a redshirt sophomore. And he doesn't seem to be ready. So they went with Criswell, who was, by the way, an ESPN 300, top 300 player coming out of his class, 4 or 5 years ago. Like, he was one of the highly sought after quarterbacks in his high school recruiting class. So he's finally, after 5 years, getting his chance to start. He technically started a game against Wofford a couple of years ago, but it was just because I think Drake had like a minor thing and they didn't feel like they needed to play him. But this is like his first like real deal, like he can be the guy moving forward start after 5 years. Just an incredible story. Kid had a very challenging upbringing. Parents weren't in his life and bounced around to different homes. And eventually, he has a family now. These guardians took him in when he was in 6th grade. It's really, we'll have more on that tomorrow, but it is a really fascinating, heartwarming story how this kid has been able to overcome so many challenges in his life. So I'm really rooting for the kid.
Yeah, you know me. I love underdog stories like that. I would never have known that story if I didn't turn on this Syracuse-Stanford game, and then I saw it on the bottom line here on ESPN. So that's a great story. We'll watch tomorrow's game. It's at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow, George, we'll get to our NFL picks. But tomorrow, and I should say it like this, one really, really massive game, and one game that I'm just going to pay a little bit of attention to.
What's that?
UCLA LSU. I'm going to watch a little bit of that game. It's on at the same time as USC Michigan, so I'll probably be flipping back and forth because I am curious after reading this past week about how UCLA and the players, the offensive players, have been getting together to meet, to have not meeting time with the coaches, but just to meet amongst themselves so that the players can better acquaint themselves with Eric Bieniemy's NFL-style playbook. They say that it's so complicated and the language is so difficult that these guys are like meeting at night at the quarterback's, what's his name, Garber, is that his name?
Ethan Garber's.
Meeting at his house so that they can all learn the language. Listen, I would say this to Eric Bieniemy. Bro, dumb it down.
Yeah,
okay?
make it some more simplistic. They're kids.
Yeah, these are 18, 19, 20-year-old kids. And by the way, they got to go to class, believe it or not, especially when they go to UCLA. So, this is not the NFL. This is not, a football savant in Patrick Mahomes. These are not professionals who do this all day, every day, and that's what they do. Dumb it down, bro.
Yeah.
That's my message for Eric Bieniemy.
Hashtag.
Dumb it down, bro.
Yeah, bro. Don't forget, bro.
And then the other thing is, listen, USC tomorrow against Michigan, I've either convinced myself all week long that Michigan changing their quarterback, Michigan missing their top wide receiver, Michigan's best tight end leaving the game last week, and still not certain if this kid will play, and if he does, how effective he might be this week.
Orgy time.
I am convinced, yes, it is orgy time in Michigan. It is orgy time in the big house.
Orgy time.
I am convinced that USC is going to go to Michigan and beat the snot out of Michigan.
I don't know about beat the snot, but I like them to win.
No, I like them to win big. What's the line in the game? Anybody know?
5.5 USC.
Oh, I like them to win by like 2 touchdowns.
Okay.
But again, I'm just cautioning everybody, especially all USC fans. I may have just built this up in my own head, and I may be way wrong. But I'd like to think I'm right.
It's down to 4.5.
Oh, I would take USC. I may play that game tomorrow. I may play that game.
Okay.
I'm also going to look on Prize Picks, and I'm going to see what like Miller Moss's numbers are for tomorrow, because I think he could have a really big game. So, all right, I'm going to check it out.
Well, it's the best defense USC has played to this point.
Michigan is the best defense that USC has played. Well, yeah, I mean, that would stand
They're
to reason.
better than LSU's defense, yes.
Yeah, and Utah State doesn't really present much.
Correct.
So, but they have had 2 weeks. Hasn't USC had a little bit of time?
Yeah.
Okay, so, all right, well, let's do this. Are we ready for our picks against the spread?
Yeah, let's let it rip.
All right, now before we do, George, it is imperative.
Oh, where are the standings?
We have to do the standings because last week I went out on some limbs.
You did.
And so I got to know the standings so that I can decide how much of a limb I got to go out on this week. Because I could be like the Rams. Through 2 weeks, I could be toast.
You are, pretty much.
Let's hear the story, Lindsay.
Well, last week you had a whopping 5 points. Well, we all did kind of the same last week. You had 5 points. Sedano had 5 points. DeAndre had 5 points, and I had 7 points, bringing the week 2 overall total to. In last place is you, Cappy, and then Sedano and I are both tied with 16 points, and then DeAndre is in the lead with 17.
Okay, how many points do I have?
8.
So you mean to tell me the week 1? What did I do week 1?
You had 3 points week 1.
What did I have? How could I?
Let's see. You picked the Packers. You picked the Raiders. You picked the Rams, and you picked the Jets.
Ooh.
The only one you got right was the Rams.
Oh man. That's not good, is it?
No.
And then last week I had the Raiders, so that was like a 4-pointer, wasn't it?
That was your 5.
What else did I have last week? Baseball?
No, that wasn't his 5 last week.
Oh, it was his 4?
It was his 1.
Oh, really?
Oh, then
Cap, last week the only things you got right were the Cardinals and the Raiders.
So there you go.
Boy, that's terrible. What did George have right last week? Let me.
Oh, I got my 5 right. That's for sure.
Okay, so last week George got the Chargers 5.
Okay, yeah.
And that's it.
Then he got everything else wrong?
Correct.
Yeah, but if you get your 5, you stay in it, bro.
That's true.
You got to get your 5 right.
Well,
you got to put 5 on it, Cappy.
I know, but put 5 on the Chargers, and then you put 5 on the Panthers.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's not good.
See, I went out on a limb.
If you bet against the Chargers every week, you could be in trouble because
All right.
the worm has attacked.
Yeah, you bet. This strategy of the going against the Chargers every week is not ideal for you.
Nah, it's not looking so good, is it? All right, well, let's do it. Here we go. Game number 1. Speaking of those Chargers, George, the Chargers are at the Steelers. Chargers 2-0. Steelers 2-0. Steelers home opener. Chargers, perhaps a problem with their quarterback. High ankle sprain. Hasn't been practicing. Has been in uniform in practice, but not moving around well. I'll throw it to you, George. Chargers at Steelers. Steelers -3. Where are you going? Big old sigh. Big sigh.
It's tough.
It's a tough
I
call.
think Herbert will gut it out. I think they're going to run the ball a ton. I think it's going to be an incredibly low-scoring game. If I was really looking at something to play in this game, it would be the under. I'm going to still take the Chargers plus the 3 points, but it's only my one, Cappy.
Who's got it better than us?
All right. Baseball.
I've got the Chargers, and that's my 3.
DeAndre.
I'm going to take the Steelers, and I'll make that one my 1.
Okay, I got to make a play here.
Don't tell me you're going to do Steelers 5.
Oh, come on.
This is a 16-9 game. This is a nobody scores an offensive touchdown. Somebody scores a touchdown in the kicking game or on defense. Steelers cover the 3. That's my 5.
Okay.
God, Cappy.
Get out.
Next game. 49ers come to L.A. to take on the Rams. 49ers have problems with their health. Rams have a ton of problems with their health. Rams are getting back their starting left tackle this week, but will it be enough? I will ask you, George Sedano.
What a spin move off the catch down the sideline. Another touchdown for Stanford. Mason, you're in trouble, dog.
Okay.
Oh, a holding call, though.
Oh.
No. Oh, come on.
Oh.
Taking the points off the board.
Oh.
Doesn't that ref kind of look like Crypto Ray?
It does look like Crypto Ray a little bit.
All right,
wow, man. Anyway.
What do you say here? So the Niners, minus 6.5.
I think it's a big deal that the Rams are getting their left tackle back, okay? And to me, for Stafford's sake, that's the key, okay? I think the Rams are covering the 6.5, and that's my 5, Cappy. Like, I am not going as far as Kirk Morrison saying they're going to win, but I think they're going to keep it within 6.5. Rams, my 5.
Okay. Baseball.
I think that the Rams offense is in much more trouble, and their defense, than the 49ers and their extensive injuries. So I'm going to go 49ers, and that's my 4.
DeAndre.
I'm going to go with the Niners, and I'll make that one my 4 as well.
Also, 49ers home game at SoFi.
Wow. You know, according to a service that I use called 6Score, Sports Injury Central, the 49ers health score is 79.2. The Rams health score is 76.2. So it's not as pronounced as you might expect.
Yeah.
Do they have George Kittle playing or not?
Don't know. Do not know. That's a good.
Doubtful. He's probably not going to play.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that's a big injury too. Basically, the Niners are missing their 3 top, 3 of their 4 top offensive weapons at the skill position.
But that defense is really good, though.
Right. I know. So here's the thing. I don't feel real good about this game. I don't feel overly confident that the Niners are going to cover. I don't feel real confident in the Rams' ability to cover. I don't like the game. I would never touch it. But I'm going to take the Niners. I'm going to make it my 1.
Wow, George, you can really pick up some ground here if the Rams end up pulling it out, or at least cover the spread.
I like my 5. Gotta like your 5.
I like my Steelers at 5. I like my 5. Here's our next game. The Carolina Panthers, maybe the most pathetic team I've ever seen through the first 2 weeks, changing quarterbacks and going to Andy Dalton. Andy Dalton, in his career, 3-0 against the Raiders. Take that for what it's worth. 750 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. Take all the stats and take them for what they're worth. Andy Dalton becomes the starter for Carolina, the Raiders home opener. George, the Raiders at home, minus 6 against Carolina. What do you say?
Cappy?
Georgie?
Big win last week for the Raiders, right?
Right.
They lucked out. The Ravens blew a 10-point lead for the 5th time in the last 5 years. Most of anyone in the National Football League blowing a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter. Okay? The Raiders are going into this one a little overconfident. The Red Rifle is going to keep Carolina in the game and keep them within the 6, but I'm not overly confident about it, so it's my 2. Panthers, 2.
Baseball.
I'm not sure that the statistics about Andy Dalton against the Raiders have any relevance whatsoever, considering I don't think he's faced a single one of these players in his history. as a quarterback. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stick with the Raiders winning again, and that's going to be my 5.
Ooh. Spicy. DeAndre.
I'll take the Raiders and I'll make that one my 5 as well.
All right.
Smart.
Well, George, you've taken Carolina to cover. Again, I use this service called Sports Injury Central where I can actually see the difference in the health of the two teams. The Raiders score a 91. The Panthers score an 80.2. It's a 10-point advantage for the Raiders in terms of health of their team. I'll take the Raiders. I'll make it my 4.
Okay.
And by the way, this is the kind of game where upsets happen in a league where you can never predict what's going to happen. When you think you know and then you don't, that's what's got me worried about
As a
this
matter
game.
of fact, change this.
Uh-oh. We got to change.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Keep it there, too.
Okay.
All right, here's our next game. The Ravens, 0-2 after that devastating loss last week at the hands of the Raiders. At the Cowboys. Cowboys got annihilated by New Orleans last week. So now the Ravens got to get a win. And the Cowboys are at home. And they got to make a comeback after last week. So here's the story. The Ravens are 1-point favorites on the road at the Cowboys. George, what do you say?
Oh, I think the Cowboys, I've always felt the Cowboys are in trouble this season. I have not been a believer in the Cowboys. I believe that they are going to have a season mired in mediocrity. I don't think I just can't see a world where the Ravens are 0-3. They're too good a team. They figure this out. I feel like Mark Andrews gets more involved this week. And I think that the Ravens win a close one. Give me the Ravens. That's my 4.
Lindsay, baseball.
So, speaking of historical stats against teams, or just in general, Lamar has never lost 3 games in a row in his entire career. So I'm going Ravens, and that's my 1.
DeAndre.
Ravens, and that's my 3.
Wow, excellent analysis by you. I'm also going to take the Ravens here. Gosh, I don't like the fact that we picked so many of the same games. I'm with you, George. I can't see the Ravens as good as they were on the opening night against Kansas City. They were a toenail from tying that game or possibly winning that game. I can't see the Ravens losing this game. I think it's a tight game. Ravens are favored by 1. I think they'll win. I'll take them. The Ravens, that's my 3. And our last game on the board. DeAndre's Eagles at the Saints. Do we believe in the New Orleans Saints yet? I mean, they beat up on Carolina, big deal, but they crushed the Cowboys last week. And what do we make of the Eagles after losing to Atlanta? DeAndre, your Eagles are 2.5-point favorites at the New Orleans Saints. What do you say, DeAndre?
You know I got to ride with the Birds, man. Go Birds. I'll make them that one my 2. I'm not overconfident, you know, that they'll go out in that game the way the Saints have been playing. I mean, the play calling's got to get better with the Eagles. We got to address the blitzing issue. I mean, they have too much cushion in their coverages. They got to address the linebacker issues. But I do feel like the way the Eagles' offense is, I don't think the Saints have matched up with an offense like that. Saquon has been dominating. I feel like the play calling will get better. They learn from their mistakes. The Eagles beat themselves against the Falcons, so I feel like the Eagles will win this game. I'll make that one my 2.
All right, not overly confident in his team. Baseball?
I think that after seeing Derek Carr score a rushing touchdown and then do some Michael Jackson moves, including the infamous crotch grab at the end, I feel like he's feeling himself. And he's going to have another big game, and I'm going to go Saints, and that's my 2 because it's all I got left.
When you say he's feeling himself, do you mean literally or figuratively?
Both.
Okay, wanted to make sure.
Both.
George Sedano, the Eagles 2.5-point favorites on the road at the Saints. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Eagles were embarrassed last week. I mean, if you thought the Ravens blew it, nobody was worse in blowing it than the Eagles. So I like the Eagles to bounce back here. -2.5 on the road. I generally don't like to take a road dog, but I just think the Eagles are the better team. So I think they win on the road, and New Orleans gets their comeuppance, and that's my 3, Eagles.
Okay, I'm going to go in the opposite direction. Yeah, it's not so impressive that New Orleans crushes Carolina, but we were all surprised by the score. Okay, wait a second. Maybe they're pretty good offensively. All right. Then last week, what they do to Dallas, I'm like, okay, maybe I got to take New Orleans seriously. Home, underdog against the Eagles off the performance last week. I'm going to take the Saints. I think the only thing I've got left is a 2.
Yep.
So I'm going to take New Orleans, and that is my 2. And that's the deal.
Hey, really quick, can I remind everybody about where we're going to be on Monday?
Please remind us.
Once we review these picks against the spread and we see how everybody did, we're going to be doing that live from Commerce Casino on Monday for a monster Monday night football party from 3 to 6. Games will be getting underway at 4:30 p.m. Remember, they have 2 games. They're going back to the double games, the doubleheader on Monday. So if you're there at Commerce, you have the chance to win great prizes, Bills and Bengals jerseys, ESPN LA Commerce Monday Night Football shirts, and a whole lot more. Sedano and Cap with me, broadcasting live from 3 to 6 Monday afternoon at Commerce Casino.
So there's 2 Monday Night Football games, you said?
Correct. Remember they did that last year a couple times, but I thought it was later in the season when they did that.
It's usually earlier in the season, to be honest with you.
Okay,
Jaguars and Bills at 4:30, and then Commanders and Bengals at 5:15. Wow.
I don't think that's going to be a very good game, but hey, maybe I'm wrong.
And
Commanders and who?
Commanders and Bengals. And by the way, both games on ESPN. I guess one is ESPN, one's ABC.
Yeah, one of them is going to be Buck and Aikman, and the other one's going to be Fowler and like Orlovsky and your boy Riddick, probably.
Louis Riddick has become so famous working at ESPN that he's now got a Geico commercial where he's in the booth. I don't remember who the play-by-play guy is. It may be Fowler. It may be Chris Fowler, Louis Riddick, and the Geico caveman guy. Have you seen that commercial?
Oh, yes, I remember the bringing the caveman back. That's right.
I mean, George, that is like, hey, people like him on ESPN. That guy is making money now. I mean,
that's
these
how you know
Geico
you've really made it, is when you get a commercial with the Geico caveman.
Oh, I think so for sure. And what do you think that you get paid on a commercial like that? I bet you get paid a lot of money.
Question.
I don't know about a lot. I think you get paid, what's a lot of money? You know what I mean?
Well, if I had to take a guess based on the number of times I see that commercial, and chances are it probably runs the entire football season. If I had to take a guess, I know this is going to sound a little crazy. $1 million? What do you think?
No, get out of here.
What do you think?
It runs all throughout football season?
No way. They're Cappy. He's not getting paid $1 million to do that commercial.
Give me
Absolutely
a number.
not.
Give me a number.
$200K.
I would say probably at best $100K.
At best.
Maybe 2. Maybe.
All right, I'm going to find out.
At best.
You would.
I'm going to find out.
But there's no way it's 7.
You're just straight up going to ask them, hey, how much money are you making
Cappy,
for that
that commercial only airs on ESPN and ABC. Like it doesn't air on every channel.
Well, you actually may be right about. I'm sure you are right about that, because when I see these Amazon Prime guys like Andrew Whitworth and Richard Sherman, and all these, they all have commercials that air on Amazon Prime.
Correct.
I don't think I see them.
I would probably even venture to say less than 6 figures.
You think that they got less than $100,000 for that Geico commercial?
Yeah, it only airs for whatever amount of weeks, and it only airs on ESPN and on ABC.
All right, I'm finding out. I'm going
during football games.
Wait, I have a question.
I'm going to be nosy.
Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong for his sake.
Would you rather do, if you were famous and you were in the situation with Louis Riddick and you were asked, would you rather do a Geico commercial with the caveman or the gecko? Who would you pick?
Oh, I'd rather the gecko, personally.
Oh, no, I like the caveman. I like the caveman. I like his act. I like his look. I like the whole thing.
I like the gecko, man. Gecko's got the great voice.
He does have the cool
great
accent.
Yeah.
I do like his accent, because it's not Brit. It's like Australian almost, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know,
It's
man.
I think he's from New Zealand, but
are you sure?
he might be.
I mean, people get very pissed off. If you're from Australia and you say to somebody, you go, hey, are you from New Zealand? They get pissed.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think the gecko could be from New Zealand.
All right, we'll have to Google that.
Well, you guys want to know, according to salary.com, just saying this is not the average situation. However, it says the average TV commercial actor or actress salary in the United States is $75,000.
There you go.
Right, but that's an actress.
Right.
Or an actor.
That's why I'm saying it's not a typical conversation, but maybe we can use that as a base to kind of guess. But we all know you're going to ask him, so.
Oh, I will ask him for sure.
Should text him right now.
Will he tell me? I don't know. No, Lindsay, this is not something you text somebody.
You should be like, oh, you can.
By the way, the gecko is a British accent.
British. Wow, you've just really insulted a lot of people by calling him from New Zealand.
I feel like he doesn't sound totally British, but I could, that's just my take on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Doesn't sound totally British?
I listen to a lot of true crime podcasts from the BBC network,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like and granted, those people I feel like they talk in more of like the interviewees and stuff like that are more of like a British slang, or there's like it's like the difference between somebody talking, from Los Angeles to like New Orleans. There's like some different lingo and stuff like that. So I just feel like he's not like the gecko is more, he has more broad range, I guess. It just doesn't seem like he's like super uber specific to British.
Wow, this is
I love
impressive
the guy.
linguistics analysis.
I know,
wow.
right?
I love that gecko.
You do? You're a big gecko fan?
I'm big on the
sticks
gecko.
His tongue out and he just like licks things.
Yeah,
that's what they do.
He's funny.
Ooh, George, Stanford threw an interception, and now Syracuse
they're up
has
10-0.
the ball. They are up 10-0, but it's early in this game. I mean, I still think I like Syracuse in this game.
I mean, listen, the Dome is tough to play, like sneaky tough to play. I mean, you've played there, no?
Yes, I have.
When
indeed.
that place is like packed, it's a sneaky tough place to play.
Yeah, I don't know if it's so packed right now. I mean, I can't tell. They haven't exactly shown the stands, but nice interception by this kid from Syracuse. I love college football on Friday. I used to hate it.
Trevor Pena with a nice spin move there for the first down to the 11.
Hey, Trevor Pena, nice work by you, kid.
Hey, listen, Hispanic Heritage Month, bro.
Damn right it is. I used to hate college football on Friday nights because I was like one of these guys like, hey, you know what? Friday night belongs to high school football. Stay out of Friday night college football. But now it's like on the East Coast, it's 8:30
There's 3 games tonight on TV.
What do we got? What else we got on TV tonight?
So there's this Stanford-Syracuse game on ESPN. There's Illinois-Nebraska on Fox. And then there's on the CW tonight, it's Washington State against somebody.
Oh, you know what? These were all the games that Mason was playing. Washington State, I can't remember who they're playing either, but he was playing the under in the Illinois-Nebraska game, and I'm like, I don't know, Mace. You got 2 top 25 teams, and you got
San Jose State, Washington State.
There you go. A pretty high-scoring Nebraska team. I don't know if I'd play the under in that game. Three college football games tonight. If you're staying home tonight, if tonight you're just like, hey, I'm chilling, you got 3 college football games on. Beautiful. All right, George, why don't you tell everybody about Children's Dental Fun Zone?
Yeah, Cappy, look, going to the dentist with your kid can be a challenge, okay? And we all want what's best for our kids, but, someone your child can trust and enjoy going to the dentist with. So I got the solution for parents. Let me tell you about my friends at Children's Dental Fun Zone. First of all, fun is in the name for a reason. And when you walk into any of these 17 locations across the Southland, it's legitimately like you're walking into a cartoon. Your kids are going to be like, whoa, where did we come to? 17 locations, as I mentioned, across the Southland to choose from. So they got you covered in LA County. They got you covered in Orange County. They got you covered in the IE. Children's Dental Fun Zone specializes in children's dentistry and orthodontics with state-of-the-art equipment and personal attention your kids deserve. And here's how they put fun in the name at Children's Dental Fun Zone. Each station that your kid's going to get work on, okay, they got a big screen TV, and they'll put any kid's movie you want on there, okay? So it'll put them at ease. They'll be relaxed. They got iPads for the kids as well and toys for the kids in the waiting area. And for parents, they accept Medi-Cal, PPO, and HMO insurance plans. I'm telling you, your kids are going to go to Children's Dental Fun Zone, and they're going to be like, Mom, Dad, after the experience, they're going to say, Mom, Dad, when are we coming back to Children's Dental Fun Zone? Words you never thought you'd hear from your kids after a dentist visit. So to book your child's next appointment at Children's Dental Fun Zone, visit their website, cdfzone.com. That's cdfzone.com. Or call them at 800-717-KIDS. That's 800-717-KIDS.
When pay
Hey football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Check it out, the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence and camera control for easy access. At Verizon, you can get it when you trade in any phone from one of their top brands.
Any?
Any.
Even if it's 4 years old?
Yeah.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk?
Yep.
Even if it's 4 years old and I drop it on the sidewalk, then a scooter runs it over, so now it's not just old and cracked, but shattered?
With Verizon, the answer is always yes. New and existing customers can trade in any phone from one of our top brands in any condition for the new iPhone 16 Pro with Unlimited Ultimate. Trade-in terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
This is Sedano and Cap for your afternoon drive.
Walks around like a little puppy dog.
On 710 ESPN.
Don't ask me, just do what you do. Okay, meet me in the trail. It's going down. Meet me in the mall.
All right, Sedano and Cap on 710 on a Friday afternoon. Getting down into the late part of the fourth quarter and getting ready to head on out into this weekend. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, George's got a game at 9 a.m. between North Carolina and James Madison, so check them out. Support your boy. I know I'll be watching as I do every week. And then USC Michigan at 12:30. UCLA, LSU at 12:30, and a great Saturday of college football. Although, George, I can tell you this. My alma mater, the University of Pittsburgh, after a big win last week against West Virginia, playing against Youngstown State. So not exactly something I'm going to make my day around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel you.
I'm not watching that trash. In fact, I don't even know if anybody's televising it. So I'm not doing that. USC, Michigan, game of the day tomorrow. And then on Sunday, great games. I mean, the Steelers hosting the Chargers. I don't know if I'll call the Raiders and the Panthers a great game. And I'm super curious to see what happens between the Rams and the 49ers at SoFi on Sunday. Now, George, you know that Marcus Grant is coming up here tonight at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And he's in studio right now. Is that right, Lindsay Baseball?
That's correct. He's here.
All right. Hey, Marcus, what's going on, man?
What's going on, Cappy?
How are you, brother?
I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing okay, but let me ask you a question as somebody who is a fantasy football expert for the NFL Network. You ready?
Yep.
So I had Cooper Kupp and I had Deebo Samuel.
Oof.
Same.
Sorry for your loss.
Thank you. But I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Like, should somebody in my shoes be like waving the white flag, like, hey, it's only going into week 3, so 2 major players, both down, both out now, season over?
No.
Season not over. Now, the level of difficulty has been ratcheted up significantly because of that, but this is when you go hard on the waiver wire, try to find some stop gaps right now. This is where you try and make some trade offers. I mean, look, at some point, maybe you do offer up a guy like Cooper Kupp to a team that has wide receiver depth just to try to get some pieces back in the short term. So this is when you have to get a little bit creative with your player movement and your roster management here. But it's only week 3. There's still a lot of time left. And here's the thing. The way the injuries have happened across the NFL, chances are some other teams in your league are also dealing with major injury issues.
So, you kind of coached me up going into my first big draft, and you said, you don't draft a quarterback until, maybe the 4th or 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't play Aaron Rodgers last night.
Okay.
I'm going to play Brock Purdy on Sunday.
Okay.
But is anybody ever interested in a quarterback? I mean, can I possibly get rid of one of these 2 guys? I mean, would anybody ever have interest in that?
I would think you can at least dangle one out there, put one on the, say so-and-so is on the trade block. Maybe it's Aaron Rodgers on the trade block after last night. See if somebody is willing to buy. Check whoever in your league has Tua Tagovailoa, for instance. See if there's any interest there to fill an empty spot on the roster. It can sometimes be difficult to trade quarterbacks, but I think after a game like last night when Aaron Rodgers looked like vintage Aaron Rodgers, a chance to put him out there and see who might bite.
George, what did you think of Aaron Rodgers last night? I mean, you were saying yesterday he can't move, and I'll tell you what, he looked like old school Aaron Rodgers. I mean, threw the ball on the
I
run.
don't know if I'd go that far. They look like
I would
old school
Aaron
go Rodgers.
Very much that far. He looked
not.
like a guy that if you didn't know he had an Achilles tear last year, he looked like the exact same guy he was.
Nah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'll say he looked more like Aaron Rodgers of old versus old Aaron Rodgers.
Although my favorite part, George, did you see where Salah went to try and give him a hug and then he got the double Heisman?
He pushed him away, yeah.
Dude,
and then he claimed afterwards that Salah's not a big hugger and that he likes to give the double. He pushes guys a lot, so that's what he was doing to him.
Explanation.
He's the weirdest dude ever. Like, God, it's funny. I've talked to a couple of guys who used to play in the NFL recently about him, and they'd be like, I don't even know if I would enjoy playing with him at this stage of his career because even his last years in Green Bay, he's just become so not team friendly.
Well, the whole thing after the game where he was like, hey, he's not a big hugger, and he always talks about being up by 2 scores. So if you read my lips, that's what I said. Hey, 2 scores. But Aaron Rodgers had that look. We all try and interpret everybody's look. We were trying to interpret the look that Caleb Williams gave just the other night. Who was it that was trying to go, hey, man, come on. Yeah, it was C.J. Stroud. Yo, man, come here. Come here, man. Hey, don't take them hits, And afterwards, we were all trying to figure out what his facial expressions were saying. Aaron Rodgers last night, his facial expression said this. Yo, man, keep your freaking hands to yourself. Don't touch me. I mean, that's what I saw. What'd you think, Marcus?
That's agreed. No, I agree. It was very much like, hey, man, get off me. What do you want? I mean, my joke was that maybe he just didn't want to get sweat on Robert Saleh's sweater, but it was very much a, hey, man, what are you doing? I don't need this from you right now. Stay away from me.
Yeah. George, how's your team looking right now?
My fantasy team, one of them is 1-1, and the other one's 2-0. So I feel fairly confident about.
And do you have any major injuries? Like I'm just decimated right now. I am. So
I lost Cooper Cup in the 1-1 league. I lost Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
But I have decent replacements. Like I had on my bench still. This is like a very small league. It's only 10 teams. So I had still on my bench Malik Neighbors, and I had somebody else who I replaced him with, which wasn't Malik Neighbors. Hold on, stand by.
I had. You have Alan Lazard available in your league to pick up. That's who I got.
That might be a thing now. I didn't think it would be a thing, but it looks like it's going to be a thing.
I picked him up.
Jackson Smith and Jigba is who I replaced Cooper Cup with this particular week, because I think Seattle's going to score a lot on the Dolphins. I think this Skylar Thompson thing is going to be a mess going to Seattle this week.
I just got lucky last night because the team that I'm playing against this week, this guy had Breece Hall on his team. And he had, is it Ramondre? Is that how you say his name? Yes. Ramondre Stevenson from the Patriots. And Ramondre Stevenson last night, his projected score was 22 points. He got 2.3 points.
Well, he had that many? I didn't think
I know, right?
Had that many. It was rough for Ramondre. And the Breece Hall thing is a surprise because I don't think anyone expected Braylon Allen to be as big a part of the Jets offense as he's been through the first couple of weeks.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question, Marcus.
Sure.
In one of my leagues, I've lost Joe Mixon. And as you can imagine, not a ton of great running backs available, but there's a few guys that are okay. Cam Akers or Steele, the kid from Kansas City? Who should I go after there?
I would think Steele, just because I think he's got a longer shelf life for Kansas City. I mean, it looks like Isaiah Pacheco is going to be out for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
So the Mixon thing, he could be back. He could be back next week. It could be maybe a couple of weeks. It doesn't seem like it's going to be an extended period of time for him. So Steele, I think you can run with him a little bit longer.
George, you asked about Kyron Williams from the Rams. So let me tell you that I want to give everybody my prize picks going into this weekend, okay? And the reason I want to give them to you is because they're not really mine. I got a friend of mine, and he is what I'll call a professional player, and he plays all the player props. And so he gave me his picks for the weekend, and I'm going to pass them on to everybody else. Are you ready?
Okay.
All right, here's our prize picks. Remember, download the prize picks app. Use our code Cappy, K-A-P-P-Y. When you make that $5 play, they're going to give you a $50 bonus whether you win or lose. So, George, here's what I've got. You know the Caleb Williams special. They've got that free box, essentially, where if Caleb throws for more than half a yard, you're a winner. So I've got the Caleb Williams free square. That's number one. Marcus, by the way, tune in on this one.
Okay.
I've got Lamar Jackson this weekend against the Cowboys to pass for more than 218.5 passing yards. Got DeAndre Swift, the running back for the Chicago Bears, to rush for more than 50.5 rushing yards. Does anybody like that?
The Colts' run defense is awful, so that's got a good shot.
Okay, and then Kyron Williams of the Rams. I hate to do this, Rams fans, but Kyron Williams, I'm playing less than 64.5 rushing yards this weekend against San Francisco. What, George, you like these plays? What do you think?
Cappy, you always go more, though. We just talked about this yesterday, that you should be going less because more they want you to go more because they know that's a loser usually.
I understand. But in the case of Lamar Jackson, 218.5 is, again, please understand.
The Cowboys defense is good, though, right? And they're very opportunistic, particularly causing turnovers. I don't know, man.
You're not happy with these picks, huh?
I mean, no. I
mean, like him.
Marcus, you tell me. I feel like Lamar is kind of he's someone I would never play the passing yards because you never know week to week what he's going to give you.
Also, this feels like a week because the Dallas run defense has been pretty bad. This feels like a very heavy Derrick Henry week for Baltimore.
Okay. Well, listen, I'm telling you guys this. I'm handing them off to you. Do with them what you want. But I can only tell you this. The guy who gave me these picks, because he's a professional player prop guy, he was 100% last week. And people jumped all over his picks. I'm taking his picks, and I'm passing them on to you. So, George,
but here's the thing. If he was 100% last week, he's not going to be 100% this week.
All right, well, he's got a better chance than I do because I'm not very good.
How about my boy Trevor Pena with a diving catch at the 40-yard line into Stanford Cardinal territory?
All right. So
Hispanic Heritage Month.
There you go. All right, well, there's my prize picks for you. There they are. Make sure you download the Prize Picks app. Use our code Cappy, Kappy. Make your first play at $5. They give you the $50 bonus, and the Caleb Williams free square through the month of September continues. So, Georgie, let's play.
What about
together.
college players? Let's play some college players.
Yeah, you want to play some college?
Yeah.
What do you want to play this weekend?
I don't know. You tell me.
You know what? I'm going to look for Arch Manning's numbers because they're going to beat up so badly on Louisiana Monroe. How about this? There's an Arch Manning special going on right now. His passing yards, 286.5. They've got it down to 239.5. To me, that's an easy play.
Sure.
Arch Manning's going to have 350 yards passing in this game.
I think he could have a big game, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take that one too. Well, you know what I should do? I should look at Miller Moss.
I would go. Well, Miller Moss. I'm telling you, Michigan defense is better than anything they've faced.
All right, listen. Miller Moss, 260.5 passing yards.
I would
say
go
play
less.
Okay,
I would play less.
Play less.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All of a sudden, I got 4 picks. I'm up to 10 times my money.
There you go.
$20 play.
Yeah.
All right, I like it.
Cappy, and by the way, I know people want to play with you, right? But what I would say to you is this. You can also play with the likes of Drewski and Joe Budden and Sugar Sean O'Malley from the UFC because Prize Picks has communities there that you can take these players and, draft them onto your Prize Picks team, basically. And you can play against these guys, these famous people. So if you don't think playing against Cappy is enough, you can play against a bunch of famous people like the guys I just mentioned.
Right, as opposed to people who are anonymous like me. All right, listen, let's do this. Let's come back. Marcus Grant is in studio because he's coming up at 6 o'clock tonight. He'll be on the air with ACAM tonight. Let's do a little bit of Big Deal, a little bit of Dealer's Choice.
Wait. Is the show named? Is it still the unnamed show, Marcus?
It's the LA destination for sports.
Oh.
That's the name of the hour?
Well, I feel like Andy was calling it something like the unnamed show or the nameless show or something the last time I heard it the other day.
Okay, well. Oh, we have our winner here right now? Okay, Lindsay, let's do that. Hey, George, have you heard about a guy? You talk about Hispanic Heritage Month. How about Rudy Espinoza is our big winner this week? Rudy is going to the 49ers Rams game at SoFi as a guest of DeWalt because he's the guy that sent in the picture on Twitter of him on the job. And Rudy, congratulations, man! You're going out to the game tomorrow or Sunday. Compliments of DeWalt.
Oh, thank you.
Hey, Rudy, by the way, this picture that you sent, where was that, dude? Is that like Long Beach or something?
Yeah, that's in Long Beach. I work in the oil refinery there. So most of my job consists of rope access methods. So, yeah, that's me, for me at work.
I didn't understand a word you said, but the picture's awesome. Nonetheless, Rudy Espinoza, you are the big winner, part of the DeWalt Tough team. Like I said, didn't understand a word you said, my man, but the picture is fire AF. I mean, I could have tried to fake it, Marcus. You know what I'm saying? Georgie, I tried, man. I just couldn't understand what he said.
You did your best. His phone was breaking up.
Yeah,
There's nothing you could do.
Couldn't understand.
Oh, by the way, huge run for Stanford here. They got into Syracuse territory, down inside the 30 now.
Yep, and it's
2 minutes and
16
16 seconds before the half.
All right, let's do this. We'll hit this quick timeout, and then we'll come back. We'll wrap things up. This is Sedano and Cap on 710 ESPN.
Come to
Hey, football fans, there is nothing sweeter than a cold glass of Stella Rosa and watching your team compete. But Stella Rosa wants to make it even sweeter and hook you up with the chance to win an experience to the biggest game of the college football season. You could win 2 tickets to the game, airfare, and a hotel for you and a friend. Head over to ESPNLADreamTicket.com to enter the Dream Ticket Sweepstakes presented by Stella Rosa, America's favorite semi-sweet, semi-sparkling wine. Please celebrate responsibly. Must be 21 or older to enter.
Just $16.99. Make it a trio with shrimp and bone-in wings, or get steak and eggs with hash browns and hot cakes, each for a few dollars more. Available all day, every day.
Hey guys, it's Cappy here, and let me talk to you about this issue of dealing with your homeowner's insurance. So your home floods, right? You have a big giant flood at your house, and you realize that the insurance adjuster is trying to pay you so little that you won't be able to repair the damage. That is when you call Avner Gatt. Avner Gatt is a public insurance adjuster who is on your side. Look, you can try and negotiate with the insurance company yourself. I've tried. You're going to find out very quickly it is not that simple. Avner Gatt and his team negotiate on your behalf to make sure you're getting the best possible outcome, not the insurance company. He and his team have been dealing with insurance companies for so many years. It's all they do. They've got the experience. They've got the industry know-how that you need on your side. Now, some of these folks used to work for insurance companies before they joined Avner's team, and Avner Gatt himself has 20 years of experience in this industry. Avner Gatt has one of the largest teams of professional, licensed public adjusters in California, and yes, the size is important. Avner has a unique winning recipe for handling homeowners' insurance claims. No one, and I mean no one, messes around with Avner Gatt and his team. Call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256, 818-917-5256, or visit AvnerGatt.com. That's AVNERGAT, AvnerGatt.com. You call Avner Gatt, 818-917-5256. Avner takes the call himself. Hello!
Get your red on and enjoy Angels baseball from the comfort of a suite. Entertain guests with all-inclusive packages. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/suites.
Hey football fans, with BetMGM's second chance promotion, you'll get your stake back if your first touchdown scorer scores second.
BetMGM and GameSense are ready to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. This U.S. promotional offer not available in Mississippi, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? Safe Step walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. Safe Step walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. Safe Step walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Final segment music indicating for everybody tuning in that it is Friday, that it is 5:55 p.m. We're headed towards 6 o'clock. You ain't got no job. You ain't got you know what to do. So it's a good thing you've been hanging out all day with Sedano and Cap. That's right.
Cappy, real quick, before we do Dealer's Choice and talk to the guys real quick, I want to tell everybody about our friends at NextGen, the official AC Heat and Plumbing Company of SoCal sports fans. That's right, NextGen, the absolute best of the biz, thousands of 5-star reviews online to prove it, and you keep your home comfortable year-round with their NextGen Rewards membership plan. Basically, they make sure your place is running right all year long, and they do it for only $14.99 a month, which is half price, okay? That $14.99 is just for ESPN LA fans, normally $29.99 a month, but for a limited time only. So you got to call them at 833-3-NEXTGEN, 833-3-NEXGEN. Here's what you get with that Next Gen Rewards membership plan. Whole home covered, multi-point tune-ups, professional cleaning on your home's air conditioning and water heating systems, full plumbing inspections, complimentary diagnostic charges, and discount parts on repairs. And when you join the Next Gen Rewards membership plan, you get on the VIP list with a guaranteed 2-hour window with your priority service appointments. So you're good to go. Like, why wouldn't you want to make sure everything is running right all the time and get your stuff in order? Do it for $14.99 a month with the Next Gen Rewards membership plan. Next Gen is the only name you need to remember for a safe and comfy home. So call them at 833-3-NEXT-GEN. That's 833-3-NEXGEN. Or visit them online at nextgenairandplumbing.com.
All right, George. Well, Marcus Grant and Andy Kamenetsky have made their way into our home-based studios here in downtown Los Angeles at LA Live at the headquarters of 710 ESPN. And let me start off.
You make it sound so dramatic,
so
Cappy.
Wasn't that so cool
I felt
sounding?
like we were walking into the White House or something.
No, didn't that sound so cool?
It really did.
I know. I mean, downtown LA headquarters, and ACAM rocking that Purple Rain T-shirt that I always like to see.
Indeed. And by the way, spoiler of something coming up over the next 2 hours, DeAndre Hawkins, he's in a lot of trouble.
Uh-oh, did he not do his homework?
He did not do his homework.
What was his homework assignment?
His homework, I don't remember how this came up on last week's unnamed sports show from 6 to 8.
Unnamed, that's what it is.
It turned out that DeAndre had never seen the movie Purple Rain.
I mean, which is fine because he was just born like last week.
Right,
So.
it's fine. We gave him some grace. He's like 19 years old or whatever. But we said, you have a week. You need to watch this movie. It's the 40th anniversary. It's a movie that is considered like a stone-cold classic musically. Didn't watch it.
Wow.
He had a week to do this.
Wow.
Do you know nothing about no Purple Rain?
I sure don't.
Yeah, he ain't know nothing about no Prince. Tell you that right now. Well,
disgraceful.
Well, it is disgraceful. And you know what? You should spend the next 2 hours just letting him know, letting him have it. Don't accept that, Andy Kamenetsky.
We don't plan to.
I wouldn't think so.
Plan to.
Well, Georgie, have a great broadcast tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., North Carolina and James Madison. I will be watching, and you'll know I'll be watching because I will be texting you along the way.
Thank you, Cappy. I appreciate it. Gentlemen, you guys have a great show.
Lindsay Baseball, amazing
Thanks,
week. Great job by DeAndre. Funchy Lova is the man. Here comes ACAM and Marcus Grant. And guess what? We out of here, everybody.